Whoop whoop, and we are back right after the finish of our first quarterfinal series. Gucci Yang facing the Blazing Pandas, and in an absolute instant classic, Blazing Pandas coming back down in the series to eliminate one of the Gucci teams. But while that series is over, we have our next quarterfinal matchup in our hands. Gucci Yin this time is facing off against Interstellar Aquila. Teams with a lot of history, maybe some banter between them, players that have played in both of these teams. So lots on stake here. Not only the place in semifinals, but also the bragging rights, which will surely be used between these two squads. And I'm gonna be casting the color casting this game. Savage, you know me, and Svonix is joining for the
Yeah.
second series in a row right now.
Well, I'm back for series number 2 of the day, and well, I mean, you know us. Well, I mean, technically, I that's another split where I haven't won the league. If you think about it, because I'm a sub for Yang, right?
All right, eliminated again, Svonix. How does that feel? Actually, I won't ask that. I don't want to make this downer stream right away. I bet we're quite sad here, but it's not over. The championship is not over.
100% win
Gucci
rate though.
Yin is still there. What
Yeah.
did you say?
Anyway, 100% win rate though. But nah, you're right.
Yeah.
Let's focus on the task ahead of us. Interstellar versus Gucci Yin. There's a lot of storylines here, but I think the most obvious one, Zadorzo, a former Gucci player himself, he's now up against the other side of Gucci, and he fell down. He was defeated by the deceased Gucci Yang, but now up against Gucci Yin. How does Interstellar approach this one? Because it's a completely different roster.
Well, we saw that Interstellar squad face off against Yang at last weeks of the regular season, and that Interstellar squad looked absolutely. I won't even lie. They looked terrible. They got destroyed by the Yang squad, and but since then they have revamped their roster. They have found their footing again, and took quite an upset victory in that first round matchup against Enlan Esports, where I think most of the league favored Enlan to qualify for the quarterfinals, right? But they already made an upset there. This time, of course, they are an underdog again, but underdogs quite often win in SLE, so it's not over, not by a mile.
No, not over by a mile. And I need to add, Gucci Yin, they have had some issues recently, and not around gameplay, but around scheduling. I think the dying weeks of the SLE, they had a game against Vitagen where they didn't have the full roster. I think they had a game the following week against Gucci Yang where they didn't have their full roster again. First time.
Yep, I think you cut out for a second.
Oh, yeah. Last series against Black Manta was the first one in a while that Gucci Yin have been able to field their starting five. And so I think if you're Interstellar here, my mentality going into this would kind of be like, they're completely out of practice. They're completely out of sync. Obviously, they're good individuals, but where we can take it to them is the team play because they haven't been playing with each other.
Yeah, not so much. And Yin in that series against Black Manta, they even though it was a 3-0 for Yin, it was quite a close 3-0 with lots of not clean execution moments by Yin, lots of issues. I'd say by them throwing the games a couple of times, and against a team like Interstellar, they cannot afford these throws. And if they will lose their leads similarly that they did against Black Manta, they might find themselves in a completely different situation here. And but in this draft, we see that Zadorzo, a player famously known for his assassin play and for his melee champion play, has gone for the first pick, Syndra.
Yep, first pick Syndra, and Kim Jensen will answer with the Azir. Yeah, Zadorzo, a player who we both know is an assassin melee specialized mid laner. Where we have seen him struggle is on these range champions like the Syndra. like the Tristana even, and he's locked in the Syndra here again, and we'll see if he can have a better performance this time.
Yeah, and on the side of Yin, we see so many signature picks coming right away. Viggy's is Thresh, Zench's Aatrox, I think, is his best known champion as well. Kim Jensen, known for his Echo and for his Azir, right? Those are two of his main champions. So lots of comfort already coming in from Yin's side, and I absolutely love to see what they have prepared so far. And in the second phase, what are we looking for? It's Sheffer playing, right? So are we looking for another of these Lucian lanes that he is very famous for?
Yeah, could potentially be as well. They're saving the AD carry pick to last pick, which is not too commonly seen. I think Gucci and they know where their strengths are. Thresh locked in for Wiggies as well is something that I've just picked up on. I think, in my opinion, the best Thresh in the league, hands down. Well, Interstellar team composition, I have to admit, it looks slightly messy. It looks slightly confused because you've essentially got two backline carries and then a solo frontline of Sidrani, so we'll see what they pick up here in support. Is there one side you're favoring over the other right now?
Well, I have to say, even though Gucci is my org, right, I still try to approach these drafts very, very very evenly, without any biases. But even with that, I absolutely favor Gucci's side here, Gucci Yin's side here, and and it is the Twitch. The rat is on the field. We will have Q the everything black as Sheffer is on the rat.
Yeah, that's a good one. Sheffer on there, and yeah, honestly, we have to stay unbiased. Don't use the word we, because I used we and I got absolutely called out in Twitch chat for that. But nonetheless, Twitch locked in for Sheffer, and a champion that I know he's very comfortable on. He likes picking the Twitch into team compositions like this, where you get on the back line. That's an immobile AD carry. You win the duel against the Varus. Varus is a champion that's so good when it comes to hitting tanks and hitting frontliners, but you're an immobile AD carry. You know, and up against a champion like Twitch, like, you don't have skill shots. You know, Varus can't flash anything. You out DPS the Varus. You outrange him when it comes to a 1v1 duel. So I put a champion like Twitch is perfect for the current situation. And honestly, I'm taking a look at this draft here. Across the board, Gucci Yin's draft, they want to take these games slowly. They want to take the fight slowly, but the Twitch doesn't. And Sheffer is either going to run it down, or he's going to absolutely smurf it. That's the way I imagine this game going.
Yeah, absolutely. And a key member for this Interstellar squad has been King Valor in support. I'd say he's the main engage player for the team, main shot caller from how it looks. Of course, I have not been in their voice calls, so I can't fully tell you what voices are the biggest in this team. And for a player like that, having their hands on this playmaking champion in Pyke, I think he can absolutely take over the game. And Interstellar will need a certain amount of chaos in their gameplay, I believe, if they plan to defeat Yin today. Because, like, fundamentally and like individually, I believe Yin has to be favored by any observers here. And so yeah, we see no helps from the lanes for the junglers as they start leashless.
Yeah, leashless is something that has come into play recently, and I think with the way the jungle clear works, junglers can actually play camps without having to need a leash, so it will just be the leashless start for both junglers. Because I can't imagine too much happening in the early game, and as I say that, King Val here gonna land a hook onto Sheffer. But yeah, no, in general, I can't really imagine too much happening in the early game because, you know, essentially both drafts scale. I'd say the only two playmakers.
There will be action bot lane, 100%.
There will be,
because it's like it's a Varus and Pyke. They both of them are really heavily bursting champions, especially with Halo Blade. So I agree with on the like global side of the game, but in bot lane, I feel like we will see fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks indeed. And how exciting is this? King Valhyr up against Wiggies, two of the best players on Hook champions. I think they're both sitting in Master Tier right now, two of our highest elo supports that we have as well. And, you know, I think to have them play... Oh, actually, Engage coming into the mid lane. Kim Jensen will just do the fancy shuffle away to safety. Get himself safe. But, yeah, Wiggies and King Valhyr is such a fun matchup to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of them are highlight reel players, how I like to call them. Especially Viggies. He's really known for being a player that you can just spectate and make montages with. You know, in Gucci's server, for someone who doesn't, for other people, they are like we have a special. Oh, we see an engage. But yeah, to finish it, we have a channel, a text channel that's called Plays Viggies Make to Impress Girls, and. Yeah, Viggies has a lot of clips there, so...
Yeah, I'm glad one of our players is using League of Legends to impress the girls instead of... I won't go there, I'm joking.
No.
Anyway... Yeah, as we said, not too much happening in the early game right now as Obsidian potentially looking for something on Shikioran, and let's touch on let's touch on that later. As Tobataco will jump on Obsidian, but great reactions using the W to block the Jax jump. Now Essentially is going to try to get this wave in, potential 2v2, but knowing that Obsidian is going to be able to get the first move, already secured the crab. And you know, one thing
got them all.
One thing we got to talk about, Shikioran, the star AD carry that we all know him to be, has role swapped to the jungle and will be the jungler for Interstellar moving forward. And, you know, what does that mean? You're up against one of the veterans of the SLE and Obsidian. How important is it for Shikioran to be on the ball today?
Yeah, that's a great question. Shikioran, a rookie, essentially, in this role in the team, right? Even when he was playing ADC, he wasn't known for an engage-heavy AD carries like Dash or like the Varus or something. So the transition that this player is making is even more impressive. And I think he didn't even like sign up to play jungle when he kind of started to play in this team when he signed for them. But yeah, he's doing his part, he's doing his role, and in the first series that we saw them upset the Enlan Esports, Shiki actually won the Jungler of the Week award. So yeah, his play in the jungle has been respectable, at least. The least you can say has been respectable. But,
yeah, okay, buddy, let's be honest, I should have won that.
That I might agree with that, but I think he still deserved a shout out.
I'm joking. Well, he had a fantastic series, like, let's be honest. Best of fives are always difficult, and especially if you're playing your first best of five as a jungler, that's not easy. Like, jungle is such an important role when it comes to competitive play, let alone a best of five. You're essentially dictating the ebb and flow of the way your team plays, and so to win that out definitely deserves praise, and he had a fantastic set of games whilst doing it. So I mean, this game ahead of him, he's up against a much more experienced player, because I believe last series, Zench going forward with some Qs. Yeah, last series he was playing against Enlan, who I think when it comes to jungle experience, comparing Enlan's jungler to Gucci Yin's jungler, very different conversation, obviously. Yeah, I think it'd be a nice matchup to see. Unfortunately, we can see he's fallen quite far behind on the clearing side of things. But as a whole, all across the board, pretty even, except for top lane right now.
I'm curious to see what is Shiki actually building here, because the Sejuani usually buys the brownies. What? Yeah, that item. So, but I guess it's not that good in the jungle. I'm not sure. I don't even know items these days. So just like most people in SLE and other AD carries that I won't mention right now. But that being said, Gucci Gaming still in a 500 gold lead purely off of the laning phase, and yeah, a lot of it is coming from what you say, Obsidian here, the veteran jungler for Gucci Yin here, and I think they haven't lost a single game with Obsidian on the field for a long time. I know they lost against Yang in finally. No. Yeah, but still, they have such a high win percentage.
They lost against Revel Links as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But no, let's stop talking about Gucci losses because we took a big fat L not that long ago. But I think, yeah, this game kind of boring, I guess. We said not too much happening in the game, two scaling team compositions. I think one thing that definitely is worth talking about is Kim Jensen against Zadorzo. Because you've got what I would almost say is two opposite ends of mid lane spectrum. You've got an aggressive assassin player up against a veteran control mage player. Kim Jensen, a player who we both know he's gonna rarely put a foot wrong when it comes to playing the laning phase. He's rarely gonna make a mistake. And even here, you see the way he plays against the gank is very mistakeful, but he's gonna throw some members underneath the turret. Will flash away for now. King Valher is gonna flash aggressively, gonna trade his life for the first blood. He had to feel this is gonna be a little bit better for the Azir than the Pyke.
Yeah, not sure if it's fully worth it here. Support, okay, it is a Pyke, so it's not a casual support, right? But yeah, getting one kill back by Op, and we see now in the bot lane as well.
Yeah, all in the bot lane as Algren is forced to use the flash, and well, Wiggy's you can see the movement of King Valher to the mid lane meant that Algren was left on his own, and you know what it's like. You're in a mobile AD carry against a Twitch Thresh without that flash now.
Varus here, at least you have these Qs and these E's to kind of try to farm the wave. But yeah, whenever you play a weak side champion, weak side AD carry, Twitch is one of your worst enemies because he can just try to assassinate you whenever your support kind of roams around. So a smart pick here by the Interstellar, by the Gucci side, because I think King Valor is a big roaming player, and and we see a gank top lane.
Yeah, we see a gang top lane, but I don't think it will amount to anything as, well, Sench forces to use the flash, but taking a look at the farm leads, he's performed with quite a high level of dominance in this lane so far, up against top attacker as Wiggy's going to land a hook onto King Valher. We talked about this matchup. These two supports are the king of hooks, and it looks like Wiggy's is going to win out on this Wild West duel as Sheffer picks up his first kill of the game.
Yeah, punishing the Pyke for fishing for hooks, and we see a potential all-in. I think Sench is gonna try his chances here, but maybe not. Oh, but the Obsidian's coming. Yeah, but you said that you talked about that midline matchup. Kim Jensen definitely known as a player that is hard to punish and very rarely makes mistakes. And right now he goes for an all-in.
Beautiful play up against Dorzo here, and a solo kill coming up for Kim Jensen up against the 1v1 machine of Zadorzo, and Obsidian will try to push Shikioran against the wall. Doesn't quite land the stun, but instead it will just be an Azir getting a solo kill onto a Syndra early in the game. And there's a fight in the top lane as King Valher will roam up there to pick something up for himself. But take a look at the gold lead. All this fighting is benefiting Gucci Yin as they do have the gold lead in their hands.
Yeah, and both of the kills going for the Pyke. Of course, one of those kills being refunded by getting the kill with the ultimate. So not as the gold leads, the gold distribution still goes in favor for the Jax. But yeah, like see King Valor actually putting some pressure on the map, using that gold that he got from that first blood and making something happen on the map. But yeah, lots of history here. Again, Zadorzo not only... Oh, but we see Sheffer. No, nothing's happened there. Yeah, Zadorzo not only used to play for Gucci, even before you joined Gucci, which is like ancient times of Chi. Zadorzo also, I think he wanted to, or he even tried out for this iteration of Chi, to make one of these two teams, and did not got through the contest, and players like King Jensen and like Rebreed kind of outperformed him. So yeah, lots of Dragon Knights, lots of What's on it?
Oh, Shikioran with a beautiful gank.
Oh.
Clint is going to get Sheffer to safety. King Val here looking for a play, but Wiggy's doing such good man marking, such good defense for a Zadie carry, as Sheffer is going to get his second kill of the game. Obsidian now arriving, and he's going to predict Shikioran's flash. This man is unleashed on Thresh. He is the best goddamn Thresh in the entire SLE. Kim Jensen arrives onto the scene with a beautiful two-man Shurima shuffle, and he's going to go onto a killing spree, taking down the Varus and Algren, and Dorzo's left to pick up the scraps of the minion wave as Wiggy's putting on a show.
Bloody fighting here at the bot line. All 4 members of the mid to bot side joining up the fight, and yeah, Gucci winning out. And we see in this replay beautiful avoidance here by the Gucci's bot line. They get out of the Pike engage, they get out of the, I believe, Varus ultimate as well, and yeah, we see here Shikioran actually flashing in front to kind of block the hook for the AD carry, but it's still not enough, as yes, they do get Sheffer killed, but the trade definitely still going for the Witchy's side.
Yeah, really good coming out from them. And let's remind ourselves, it's been a very long time on the SLE stream, at least, that we've seen the full strength Gucci Yin squad playing as a 5, and I mean, that play right there is a fantastic reminder of the individual strengths of these players. I think Wiggies is probably one of the best players that are in the SLA right now. He was in the All-Star squad, and similarly alongside Sench, and players like that really make you concerned about playing against them. But we see Algren playing aggressively onto Sheffer. He's gonna miss out on the Varus Q, which means Algren is just gonna go down, and interesting. Yeah.
Bit of a disaster, bit of a heartbreak for Algren there. I think if it's that Q is W empowered, and if he lands that, he actually executes Sheffer there. But the moment he misses, it's absolutely over. Sheffer just turns around with his ultimate, guns down Varus on the street, and just like that, Sheffer is 4-1. On this late game champion and on another late game carry in mid lane, Gucci Yang are set up to start dominating this mid game, and we saw Interstellar struggle with their early game at some of their games earlier this split. So yeah, something has not changed surely here, and Gucci Yang so far dominating, and Obsidian is in a good position for his gank.
Obsidian forcing the flash of Toba Taco, and seems like Gucci Yin are dominating all across the board, and Sheffer is going to find a solo kill onto his opposite number. And it seems like it's all going well for Gucci Yin. And Obsidian will take the Lantern, and Wiggies is going to eat the Sidrani ultimate for his jungler. And it seems like Wiggies is going to sacrifice his life to make sure that Obsidian gets out to safety. Senj is going to try to look for a flank behind the members of Interstellar.
They're waiting for Twitch.
Yeah, a fantastic play coming out from Interstellar initially to catch off Wiggies. Obsidian, Hex flashing forward, and King Valher landing some sort of illegal looking maneuver there on the pike. I don't think he landed the stun. Sheffer has now arrived to the fight. Sench is running forward on the back line of Interstellar as the Twitch goes onto a rampage, and it now will be the focus onto the Rift Herald.
Yeah, absolutely Gucci that maybe overcommitting by a little bit. Wiggies needs to pay for it with his life, giving him the first death in the game. But we see Sheffer in this bot line is an absolute menace. Varus cannot do anything about it, but this fight is not over actually.
Fight is not over as Interstellar don't want to give this up for free. Kim Jensen, unfortunately, slightly micro misplaying that Shurima shuffle, but nonetheless, this is gonna be Gucci Yin winning out in the fight regardless. Don't you worry about it, because the rest of the Gucci Yin squad are running down members. Yuiki's lands another beautiful hook onto Algren. And Mickey, we have to mention Algren, another player who was trying out for Gucci, and unfortunately for him, a chance for him to step up, but he's getting put down into the dirt this game.
It's an absolute hell right now for Algren here. He's running the on-hit Varus, and right now he basically has no attack damage in his items, so he's just auto-attacking for the stacks essentially, right? And it's not doing too much damage, and he cannot go to any lane except for right now they're doing the right thing, sending him mid lane, because once he doesn't see the Twitch, the Twitch can all in him at any moment that he wants. This Twitch is fed, and there's absolutely no way for Varus to escape. Even if he lands an ult, Twitch is gonna cleanse right away after it. So, yeah, terrible, terrible situation to be in for this AD carry, and so far very well done by Gucci. Algren, of course, lot online for him as well. He also tried out for Gucci, did not get in any of the teams, but definitely a respectable player. Has had a solid SLE rookie season.
A very respectable player indeed, and a lot of his greatest games have come off the back of him kind of playing weak side AD carry almost. The best comparison I can give is to like a Prime Reckless, where give him time to scale, build his items, and he will take over the game. I think he's having a bit of an uncharacteristic one. I think he's trying to take it a little bit too much to Sheffer and trying to duel him a little bit. But this Twitch is just too goddamn strong, and I think there's no point right now where Algren does win out in the 1 versus 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's actually a very good scouting from Gucci Yin here as well, because it's basically a global counter for the roaming support playstyle. You just pick the Twitch and you can all in the opponent AD carry after level 6 at any time you want. I'm thinking like maybe something like a Draven can challenge a Twitch in a 1v1, but not that many picks, and with a kind of helpful with the utility AD carry like the Varus most of the time. Of course, he can deal damage, but the main purpose is no. But the gank is gonna come in.
Top lane is Shiki will dash forward, not landing the W, so Essential will be able to just walk away. As a result of Shiki showing up in the top lane, Gucci Yin know that they can drop the Herald in the bot lane with Herald trying to pick up some CS instead of watching down the turret. But it is what it is. As you can see, King Val
is he doing?
Is hanging around the side. They will take down the turret, and Herald Shelly will finally get herself a charge, saying, "Look, guys, I'm taking part." As Gucci and say, "What the hell? You had one job." As they walk away from the dead Herald, and Algren once again walking up to Sheffer. Shiki knows, and Sheffer playing it safe for now, and he's gonna unload, and he dodges away from absolutely everything. The movement coming out from this Twitch is absolutely incredible. Nothing necessarily used, but ultimates blown for both sides.
Yeah, good play there by Sheffer. Yes, using his ultimate, but yeah, gonna get the ultimate out of Varus and out of Sejuani. So with these, oh, but Wiggies is not. Nope, he's not.
Yeah,
he's not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, he's absolutely fine there. As these two guys are looking to hook anyone that they see, and at any point in the game, and they're playing so aggressive, these two supports, and trying to look for everything, just hooking Obsidian because he's touching my ward. And yeah, so far, obviously, yeah, man, King Val is just doing King Val stuff. He reminds me a bit of Hylissang when he was on Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, every kind of typical Pyke player reminds you of Hylissang, right? Because it's very interactive playstyle, I have to say. Even when you don't have any angles with the Pyke, you want to like hook, you want to dive.
Oh, and Zadorzo. Yours interesting. Oh, I'll say it after. As there's a catch in Obsidian using the Keeper's Verdict to knock away the Sejuani from this team fight, and that's the tank that they need to fight this out. So the Sejuani is there. Wiggies, he's trying to flank these members here. Zench keeping alive for now, but he's being brought down to very low HP. Doesn't land the Q3. Obsidian having to take the Lantern to safety. Let's see. So Kim Jensen gonna push down so many of the turrets of the bot lane because the Dorzo was taken down, trying to cast that teleport to safety. And now Sheffer on the flank, and I think Interstellar know that there is a rat on the horizon looking to blow them up. But instead, they will just back off for now. Kim Jensen now potentially in danger. Shurima shuffles right onto King Val here. Will flash away from the stun. And a beautiful play coming out from the Emperor of Shurima. Pops the turret. And a beautiful Empress Defy pushing the jacks away. King Balor lands another hurt because Adorzo whiffing out on the Scatter the Weak. King Balor will do Hellasang things and try to push this Azir away. But a beautiful play from Kim Jensen, showing why he is one of the best mids we have in the SLE, getting himself to safety in the 1 versus 3.
Yeah, it was beautiful, unconfident. If you would only show me the team name and turn off the nameplates, I would think that was Savonix piloting the Azir there. It was very well done by Kim Jensen. I thought Gucci actually could have even pushed forward and gone for the Baron as well. Well, they were chasing Kim Jensen around there, but going for the more safer Rochi. They're picking up some kills right now. They are on almost 6,000 gold lead in 22 minutes. And yeah, this Chi Yin team is so aggressive in these early games. They have, I would say, if we rate like hands in SLE, they have some of the best hands players in the whole league. And that's showing up here again. Just so good mechanically, so good, so quick, and. But now they're preparing, I guess, for another dragon play.
Yeah, I need to touch on that. Mechanically, one of the best set of players in the SLE, and we talk about experience a lot, and we talk about the winning mentality and the champion, I guess, mindset. I think Gucci Yin, I'm looking across the board, they don't have a single SLE champion on their team, but what they do have is the confidence of SLE champions, and Zench is gonna fight Tub Attacker here in the top lane. It seems like this Jax is starting to do some damage to this Aatrox as a very strong split pusher, but with members showing in top lane means Gucci Yin will get the 3rd dragon for them, and great stuff so far from them.
Man, it's interesting to see this open. There's gonna be a 3-man dive top lane.
Yeah, 3-man dive. Sench is going to be the recipient of that, but he's going to play this beautifully as the Qs are landing. He's going to get himself to safety. He's actually going to survive. Ignite is ticking, but it's not going to take him down. Kim Jensen now shuffling to safety. Zadorzo, oh gosh. They're kind of whiffing out on the combo, and Kim Jensen will eventually get taken down with the WQ from Zadorzo. Beautifully played towards the end of that, but it does mean Gucci Yin, they push down the mid lane turret, and it's only Algren who's able to defend. So, Interstellar, they do bite back with something of their own, and they are showing some fight in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, they're going for the some right plays, right? They know that they cannot. Scheffer, but Scheffer gets Scheffer in.
Yeah, Scheffer, he's going to get the Lantern to safety, and that's the value of the Thresh. Scheffer gets himself home to his support. Yeah, Gucci Yin, they are dominating this game so far, but Interstellar, they're not backing down, and they're putting them up to the fight.
Interstellar still making some plays happen. They understand that they cannot maybe challenge Gucci in 5v5 or the 4v4s. They also cannot wait for Gucci to make the play, because Gucci right now having much more tools to do like anything they want around the map. So they decide to make a play on their own time. They decide to send 3 people top lane, almost getting Zench, but he somehow I can't spell that right now. Miraculously, survives that, and but Kim Jensen unfortunately dies. Doesn't have the fancy feat this time. Almost goes for an outplay, but not enough juice. Still a nice try, and Shiki steals away the blue buff. A little win for Interstellar.
Yeah, look, it's the tiny victories at this point, but yeah, I think one thing to note, if you're Interstellar here, I think you're not necessarily too concerned about the top side. The one individual you're scared of is Scheffer on the Twitch. He is so strong. He is 8-1, 3 items completed. Algren's an entire item behind of this Twitch. But the other members of Interstellar, they still have a fighting chance. Zadorzo has got 2.5 items on the board, so equal to the Azir. And you can see he is landing these Scatter the Weeks, and he is a strong Syndra. If he can land a big combo, he can do massive work in a team fight.
And especially with Scheffer going for the Triforce, right? The opening auto attack when he just starts spraying and praying, right? It's gonna be so strong. It can basically get someone down to half HP once he starts to shoot instantly. So Yeah, it's interesting to see. I haven't seen that these new ADC builds. It feels like many AD carries these days are favoring the Triforce. Really enjoying the item. Maybe it has been buffed. Maybe it's one of few items that hasn't been nerfed. So yeah, interesting these builds. Interesting builds.
Yeah. I think no, I don't want to talk too much on builds because you got some SLE creepers sometimes. You like throw out some like mathematical equation of why Luden's Tempest is 3% more damage than Landry's or whatever. But yeah, I hear Pepper laughing. I love making this guy laugh. It's like one of the goals when you go on the cast. As Baron gets started up by Good Chi Yin, and we see King Val here is the only one to respond, but I think Good Chi Yin gonna play this one out conservatively, not overstepping their welcome, and we'll back off for now. Teleport in the mid lane, and whoa, Agron is barreling this one down, but that's actually Ascension. He's just gonna get absolutely blown up by Zedorzo. Hook landing onto Sheffer as well. This could be exactly what Interstellar needed to get back into this game. Taco is gonna go down to low HP, but look at Zedorzo on the Syndra, landing the spells. He's gonna take down Kim Jensen to follow. Stasis is gonna be the result of this, but the Empress Divide isn't gonna be good enough as Interstellar, they find the catch onto Zench, and they find the team fight win. They take down 3 members. Obsidian is gonna find King Val here, and Interstellar, they find themselves a potential Baron take here.
Yeah, in classic Gucci fashion, throwing an absolutely huge unthrowable lead feels like, but yeah, Sench here kind of disrespectfully teleports right in their faces, in the faces of a 5 people squad, and it just gets deleted, but Obsidian's going for a steal.
He's going for a steal, but doesn't quite get it. He will get the Lantern to safety, and the rookie jungler, Shikioran, he's got that trigger finger on the smite, and will be able to secure that for the team.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't know that well, the early pathing, but he does know how to smite, and Zench is kind of face-checking again.
He's checking again, but there's members of Interstellar there. Obsidian using his own jungle camp to get himself to safety. I really like that. But there's a fight on the horizon, and Scouts of the Week is going to land onto Sench. Sheffer opens up onto the back line of Interstellar, and they are on the run. Zedorzo already taken down. Kim Jensen shuffling forward into melee range, and he's going to finish off Toba Taco as well. King Valher falls, and Obsidian will even pick himself up a kill, which means Infernal Soul will go to the hands of Gucci.
Yeah, beautifully played there. As much as you want to throw, you cannot throw. If Sheffer is playing this good, this AD carry, pulling out a huge team fight. If we would have the damage dealt draft, I believe that team fight, the Twitch dealt something close to 5,000 damage, and yes, very well played by Gucci's AD carry here, putting on a show, and yep, and we see here, look, Sheffer flanking, him being in absolutely excellent position to hit all of the carries here from the side. Both of the Zedorzo and Aldrin just gets destroyed by the Twitch. Tobataco thinking that he's safe, but he gets killed as well, and then King Valerie challenges Sheffer as well, and yeah, just brutal teamfight victory for the Gucci team, and this Twitch was already strong. How about the Twitch with Infernal Soul? That is absolutely terrifying.
Massively terrifying for the enemy team, and yeah, well, King Val here will continue to look for Sheffer, and if he lands this hook, this will be a dead Twitch. He is not going to land it for now. Beautiful cleanse to get away from the Jack stun, and Sheffer just chills, puts the sunglasses on, and gets himself out to safety thanks to the Lantern of Wiggies.
I just want to say, how if there would be an MVP ability of the game, that would definitely be Wiggies' Lanterns. This guy has gotten his team out of troubles time after time, and I believe by now Interstellar squad must be hitting their tables and saying this stupid ability, it's so OP.
Yeah, so OP indeed, but nonetheless, the difficult thing for Interstellar is they continuously try to find picks onto Sheffer, but it's unfortunately not materializing into anything for them, as they've actually managed to be more successful catching out Sench than they have the Twitch, so that's never a good thing for them. Is that, yeah, Gucci Yin? Oh, they summon the Shuriman turret in the mid lane. A beautiful scatter of the week, but the Keeper's Verdict is going to knock away the Sejuani once again. You can see the damage coming up from Kim Jensen on the Azir. Rabadon Deathcap almost completed. Wiggy's having to flash away, and a beautiful hook from King Val here, stopping Obsidian, stunning Zadorzo against the wall. But look at Sench, he is creating some havoc in the bot lane here. TurboTaco being brought to low HP. Beautiful hook once again from King Val here, taking down Obsidian. So the jungler of Gucci Yin is going to be the first to fall here, but Sench creating so much pressure, and now Algren has stepped up to the plate to try and shred him down. King Val here finds that catch onto Wiggy's, and Sheffer is going to open up onto the pike here. Sheffer gonna go invisible, but TurboTaco has teleported in. Shutdown going over to the Varus. Gucci Yin, they overstay their welcome and they give some shutdowns over to Interstellar.
Yeah, absolutely. Gucci just trying to force through the lanes, through 2 lanes at the same time. And yeah, Zadorzo hitting these E's, multi-man scatter of the weeks, time after time. And yeah, he's been the driving force behind this bit of Interstellar comeback. They were in the gold lead for a second there.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy to think about it. I think, yeah, Zadorzo, big shout out to him. We've been so critical of this player for not being able to play champions like the Syndra or the Orianna. And this time around, he's really showing a big step up and improvement on these control mages. The early game did not go too well for him, but the mid to late game has been such an improvement coming out from him. And right now, Gucci Yin, they are even on gold, which is crazy to think about it. Of course, there is some fake gold in the Infernal Soul, which doesn't show up on there. And to be honest, a lot of Gucci Yin's gold is in the hands of Sheffer.
Remember how behind was Varus at the start of the game? 0-4. Just getting killed repeatedly. Now he has a shutdown. Like, what is that?
That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Interstellar just not giving up so far. The underdogs are fighting, and you have to appreciate the fight they are taking Yin too. Like the early game was such a domination by the Yin squad, but Interstellar could absolutely come back. And right now the gold does not matter that much anymore. They have a farm, they have gold on their main carries, and it's anyone's game at this point. As long as they can stop Sheffer from getting in the perfect flank and running over the team fight with his ultimate, I think Interstellar has a good chance to win this game 1.
Yeah, I have a decent chance, but nonetheless, the members of Gucci Yin are still very, very strong here. We have to talk about the carries of Gucci Yin. Kim Jensen has completed that Rabadon's Deathcap. Sheffer on 4 items, 34 minutes into the game. These guys, if they are able to open up and put the DPS down onto Interstellar members, it will be lethal. And you can see Gucci Yin hanging around the Baron buff as a hook just about goes wide. Even Sench has arrived to group up with his team to try and see if anything can be done. Death Sentence gonna land onto TurboTaco, and you see the damage coming out from the Azir. It is so much already being brought to half HP, and that's one of the tankiest members of Interstellar. Shikioran stepping into the Baron pit to try and clear some vision. Kim Jensen doesn't get the slow from the soldiers, and you can see Gucci Yin pushing Interstellar out, not giving them the space into this Baron pit. And with TurboTaco recalling, Gucci Yin will start off the Baron. You can see King Val here will try to enter the pit, but Wiggy's playing defense. He's playing defense against the hook of King Val here, and it will just be an absolute shred. The Azir Twitch, just too much damage to the Baron buff. Gucci Yin secure that. They now start their rotation to the Elder Dragon, because this is going to be crucial for this game. TurboTaco getting poked out already by Kim Jensen. You can see Interstellar members starting to split up, and a beautiful hook landing onto Shikioran. That's the jungler of Interstellar. If he is to fall down, that's going to be crucial for another objective take. As Wiggies, turn off those goddamn scripts, buddy. You can't be landing all of these hooks into an empty bush. As Shikioran brought down to half HP. King Val here not quite landing the hook of his own, as it will be the Baron buff push into the Interstellar base. And you can see Interstellar, they do want to prioritize
prioritizes out the dragon, but they also kind of want to prioritize their base, as the Glacial Prison will get landed onto Sench. But a beautiful hook once again from Wiggies goes onto Turbo Taco. Chain of Corruption is going to root up 3 members of Good Chi Yin. Shepard is going to open up onto Zeptorzo, flashing away from the Syndra combo, and this is going to be the end of the game as the team fight is going in the way of Good Chi Yin. Triple kill coming in for that Twitch, and that's going to be Interstellar going down in game 1.
I love the patience coming in there by Shepard, just holding on to his ultimate for so long, just unleashing at the right moment. And yeah, I'd say Gucci taking game 1, but without their fair share of troubles. Interstellar coming back all the way from, I believe, 8,000 gold deficit, and yeah, behind these great stuns by Zedorzo and great ultimates by King Valor as well. They shut down Gucci's advancements, but at the end, I'd say they just got outscaled. They didn't have enough punching power left, and being put in a position where they need to decide either they go for the Elder or protect their base. Yeah, Gucci found themselves a good angle, good macro decision there, and well done, but absolutely not the cleanest of games by Gucci at this moment.
Yeah, I think one of my biggest criticisms of this Good Chi Yin team is that when it comes to the mid game, they often have their slip ups, and you can see. I think Interstellar showed there that they are a team that are very good in the mid game. And do we have a quick break to go to before game 2? Yeah. We will head to a very quick and short break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 will be coming very shortly.
Try to make yourself remember, darling. Don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, 'cause when we're gone, everything goes on. You were staring at the window, and I said I wanna take you to the sea. And when I'm better, we'll do everything. I gotta stop making promises I can't keep. But if I was gone tomorrow, won't the waves crash on? Is it selfish that I'm happy as we pass the setting sun? Someday I'll be overcast, but you won't have to cry, 'cause we'll do the grieving while I'm by your side. I said, don't try to make yourself remember, darling. Don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, 'cause when we're gone, everything goes on. And I'm so scared of getting used to this. All the vines that keep you tethered in your room. Well, someday both of us are leaving here, but for now I'll just bring this sea to you. Will you meet me in the daylight like we did before? Then I felt you on my shoulder, and you weren't suffering anymore. You said, I'm sorry that you worried, but don't apologize. I told you to forget me, but you stayed by my side when I said, don't try to make yourself remember, darling. Don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend
Hello, we are back. Gucci Yin takes the lead in the series against Interstellar Aquila, but it wasn't that dominating. Gucci Yin, I believe, is quite a big favorite in this matchup, rated by most of the SLE spectators. But Interstellar absolutely came back in this game and took the fight right to them.
Yeah, they did. And Interstellar, let's remind ourselves, they are heavy underdogs going into this series, and being able to at least bounce back in the middle of that game against a Gucci squad that is as strong as it is commendable. You know, we know the individuals on this Interstellar side, and they're not necessarily bad to say, but I think they are definitely underdogs against their opposite numbers here. So it's an uphill battle, and it's even more uphill now after dropping that first game. But if you're Interstellar, hold your head up high, because that first game was very honorable and very commendable.
Very close indeed, and it took Gucci Yin to kind of fight at the very last moments of the game at around the Elder Drake, right? Gucci Yin didn't close the game out cleanly. They didn't have best execution at some in that mid game. So if Interstellar can find themselves maybe in more even footing going in that mid to late game, I believe they have what it takes to maybe create another upset. And these upsets are quite often built exactly like this. A team kind of maybe they're just preparing for their very strong opponent. In game one, they build themselves some confidence. They see that they're facing another team that is on their level actually in the day, and after that they take that confidence, they take the good that they got from that game one, and they go for an upset. And Gucci in here going for the Orianna and not the Cassante that we've seen multiple times in SLE.
Yeah, Orianna, such a big pick for many teams, and Gucci Yin will secure that for Kim Jensen, and a classic mid lane matchup. Savage, we have been watching so much League of Legends between us. We've seen this story all before. The Orianna Syndrome matchup between Kim Jensen and Azadorza.
Yeah, and the Jarvan is banned, but I was about to say Gucci Yin getting Orianna, Cassante, and Jarvan at first 3 picks, but it's not going to be the case. I would say, even though Orianna is the superior champion right now, one of the strongest in the league, Syndra has been the mid laner of the day, I would say. Getting picked, I believe, in every single game or banned in this quarterfinals so far, and Zidorza is gonna have his hands on this champion again. He did have quite a good game. Of course, we sometimes criticize his positioning on these control mages, but in that game one, he was the driving factor behind their comeback into that game.
Yeah, he indeed was, and Cassante locked in for Sench in the top lane, another champion you mentioned is often picked very early on into the draft. So Gucci Yin, they will get their hands on the Cassante and the Orianna. Draft looking good for them so far. Wukong locked in, and let's talk about Obsidian for a second, because I think one of the biggest criticisms towards him is that he has only been playing Jarvan and Ivern. Outside of that, he doesn't touch any champions. Last game, we saw him on the Poppy. This time around, we're showing him on the Wukong. Are we seeing an Obsidian who is adapting to the playoff series?
Yeah, adaptations are something that changes, makes or breaks series like these. And see, Cassante, I feel like Cassante doesn't really have big counters in top line. We see we're going to see the matchup against Camille. We often see Cassante being picked and then Jax counter following, and I believe that matchup is almost never working out for the Jax as well. So yeah, Gucci Yin getting a lot of power picks so far, and I'll love to see the Jinx being taken out here by the Yin side as well, because that champion has been dominating in the day as well. And we might have a little bit of a microphone.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Now saying how banning away the Jinx there is advisable. I think Syndra Jinx we saw earlier in the series today, that is probably the strongest backline carry threat that we have available, other than potentially an Orianna as well. But yeah, taking that Jinx away. What I don't like from Interstellar here is going to Xayah when you have a Rel. We've seen many times Xayah struggle in team compositions that like to go forward. So yeah, nonetheless, it's a decent pick considering there is an Orianna and a Wukong K'Sante on the other side. You see Gucci rounding up their team composition with a Thresh in center.
Thresh, Senna, Shepard just taking a complete 180 here in this draft, playing the big team fight carry in Twitch last game. Now going for more of a supportive style is going to be the farming Senna, which we don't see that often. I'm not even sure if we have seen that necessarily. Maybe by Shepard before as well. And as an answer, Blitzcrank, and we as players have a lot of experience in this matchup, Blitzcrank against Senna. I believe that Senna does have a lot of tools to kind of avoid engage by Blitzcrank, but if he is on point, if the Blitz is on point, this Senna can have a bad time.
Yeah, if the Blitz is going to be able to land these crazy hooks out of nowhere, then the Senna is one of those. I mean, we've seen before Senna's can struggle into this champion, but in general, King Valhir on a champion like Blitzcrank, we've seen many times, you know, players that are even lower rated than King Valhir make such a big impact on this champion. And the reason for that is, like, this Blitzcrank could do absolutely nothing for about 45 minutes into the game, right? He lands some random, lucky, crazy flash prediction hook, and his team wins the game. He's just carried them, right? And that's the power of this pick is, you're able to find that one catch, that one massive hook, even if you're behind. That's going to be a big shutdown, big swing of gold, and it might be what Interstellar needs to bite back into the series.
Yeah, and that I would say one of the main Blitzcrank's moments is the level 1, because this champion can set up the level 1 kill like nobody else. But yeah, and we always talk about this. Oh, Blitzcrank can just hit one hook in the late game and win the game, but it happens so rarely, you know, that it's kind of, I'm not sure if it's worth talking about, but we see instantly flash blown by Zench.
Yeah, instantly flashing away Zench, and the invade comes through from the Blitzcrank, so King Valhir already finding value. Well, I mean, I guess it's not awful because Turbo Taco doesn't have flash either, but yeah, flash from the K'Sante down, and you can imagine this might be a bot to top path thing. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, and we often hear players say that the Hextech flash is as good, if not better, than the real flash. So King Valhir unlocking this ability early and getting the flash away from Zench, I would say that's a trade that the Interstellar is definitely going to take. And meanwhile, we see both junglers starting in top side, so we might see some fireworks at the bot lane around that 3 to 4 minute mark.
Yeah, we might do indeed, and yeah, very good to point out that King Valhir will be happy training a flash, considering he gets Hex Flash. Really, really good point, really good insight as well, because I think now what King Valhir can do, now that he has access to that, he can play in bushes, play in alcoves, pressure the bot lane. How do you expect this early game to go, Mikis?
So the mid lane is going to be basically a farming matchup. I think Orianna does deal more damage at the early stages in the game. But yeah, meanwhile in top lane, when we see Wiggy is go for the all-in.
Is going to flash forward, landing a hook onto Algren, and this Xayah is having to use the Ghost to get to safety. So a Summoner spell already blown onto the Xayah. Very unfavorable situation for them.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing that with a champion like Blitzcrank, right? You're always looking for a hook yourself. You're always looking for an angle to maybe pull someone and then start to burst him and stuff like that. But if you're bringing the fight to the Blitzcrank, he doesn't give that much, and actually great movement here by Kim Jensen, just dodging everything by stepping forward.
Yeah, beautiful movement coming out from Kim Jensen. I love this guy in lane. I think he is one of the best laners I have ever seen, and I've played against him a few times. he's so impressive in the lane phase. Really difficult to punish. And well, speaking of punish, and a beautiful hook landing from King Val, but Wiggies lands another beautiful hook of himself. And these guys, when I say this is the best matchup to watch when it comes to the support pool, it's just hook after hook. And it's so insane. I don't think any other support in the league can play against each other the way these two do.
No, it's a pleasure to watch. Absolutely, these two guys just going at it. That one right there was one of the best. An incredible hook by King Valley, using the Hex Flash beautifully into the hook. And yeah, then Kim Jensen not Kim Jensen, but Viggy is just sniping the hook through the minions to deny the follow-up from Algren. So yeah, in a way, saving his AD carry even without the Lantern in level 2.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, let's take a moment to look at the lanes right here, because I've noticed Sench, he did have his flash blown in the early game, but he's mounted himself up a decent farm lead. Obsidian is slightly ahead of Shikioran in the clear, and I think and even in the mid lane, Kim Jensen is he seems to be getting priority onto the Syndra. So right now, Gucci in a decent position, but once again, I think early game being played out a little bit conservatively by both teams, as no risks being blown so far.
Yeah, and we see actually Interstellar here, but will he stop the back here?
Oh, that looks like one of those Wild West shootouts, as King Val here did land the hook, cancelling Wiggy's out. Wiggy's didn't land his, as well, crucially, Sheffer was able to get the recall off. Interesting thing, usually when Sennas are drafted, it is the support that farms, but in actual fact, Sheffer is the one still farming it up.
Yeah, it is the farming Senna here, and I'm not sure about the numbers. We would need to invite one of those famous SLE numbers people that could tell me what kind of impact is the farming Senna getting right now. Is she getting enough souls to actually be a viable champion? But until we get that in the chat. And gonna start with the Shroud.
Oh.
Yep.
I thought you DC'd.
Oh, I DC'd?
Oh.
Nope.
Well, you're back now, and yeah, you know, usually this is kind of what happens when the game is just goddamn boring. Like, come on, guys, someone just fight. Like, but no. Mikus, when's First Blood happening?
First Blood is happening in the bot lane. It's gonna be scored by Interstellar Aquila, I believe, and it's gonna be on Sheffer in about 1 minute. Nope, 30 seconds.
Whoa, as King Val here forcing the flash out of the centers. Mikus, you almost got your predictions spot on. And well, yeah, the center losing the flash. Obsidian is hanging around for a potential gank. They've moved Kim Jensen down here, and they want to make sure that they get themselves this dragon. It will just be resets coming out for Algren. So yeah, once again, not much happening.
This is just what the Interstellar squad wants, because last time we saw them, they looked so good in the mid to late game. Right now, they're kind of holding even in the early game, in the part where Gucci absolutely dominated last time.
Spill, but Sench is actually going to find that catch. Toba Taco, the solo McBolo Mortar comes in for Sench, and the experienced Toba Taco goes down.
Yeah, experienced Tobatapo, kind of a player that really this team relies on. They need him to be the spine of the team. And the hook lands on Obsidian, and he's forced to flash.
Yeah, forcing the flash out of the Wukong here. He will just continue doing the Scuttle Crab. And, well, actually, no, not the Scuttle Crab. They will put their attention to the Dragon. I love that. Lose flash, go objective, as Gucci in and with priorities in lane. But I hook on to Sheffer. No flash available, but the instant Lantern. And I think this is what Sheffer needs to do. Pick up that Lantern whenever he gets hooked. Wiggies, his death sentence is going to go wide, but Shikioran is going to get ripped up by Sheffer here. Kim Jensen now has arrived to just ensure that this Baron buff is going to go into their hands. As Interstellar, they will once again lose out on the Dragon in the early game. As Kichian will secure that.
Yeah, just the thing you said about this support matchup, like
It's so cool, right?
yeah, Blitzcrank landing a hook, Chef Obsidian being forced to flash, gets out, then Blitzcrank just from the same place lands another hook. Viggy saves him, just like just going.
Yeah.
Absolute pleasure to watch these both of these guys play, and yeah, this is. In the before the game, Dutch is sometimes preparing the kind of the notes, the narratives of the game, and he said that the main matchup of the game is Zedorzo against Kim Jensen. And I agree, those two players are great, but there's gonna be a fight now.
Oh, and a fight, Algren using the Xayah ultimate to get to safety, but with Obsidian arriving in the bot lane, there is no safety to be found, and the flash was also blown from King Val here, so Obsidian making work happen in the bot lane on the Wukong. 2 kills up now for Gucci Yin in a great spot.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but looking at this early game, the moment I said that Gucci is kind of even, and that favors Interstellar. They want this early game to be even. Right after Gucci started to get all these leads, got the solo kill in top lane, now got the gank going in their way at the bot lane as well. And we see even almost a 15 CS lead in the mid. Gucci kind of putting their foot on the gas, and Kill Valor is looking for another hook.
King Valhead gets a hook onto Kim Jensen. The center ultimate is going to come down, and a great shockwave pulling Zedorzo away from Kim Jensen, meaning that he will be able to get out to safety face rush as well. And one thing I've noticed, Kim Jensen, he's got the fancy feet on. He is dodging a lot of Zedorzo's abilities in this lane. And yeah, he'll get out for now and didn't even need to blow the flash.
As the phase rush, that summoner, that keystone is so broken. Honestly, like the more I see it, the more I realize how ridiculously broken it is, because it gives such a movement speed. It's so dumb.
Yeah, really, really powerful rune, especially on these immobile control mages. It essentially gives you a tool. You use 3 abilities and you can get yourself to safety, or you can even chase out your opponents. And it's one of the best runes for Orianna. Often they. Well, actually, Wiggy's going to position aggressively, looking for a hook, and Algren going to dodge away. Wiggy's isn't going to dodge away from the Blitzcrank hook, and Shikioran has arrived to the fight, which means Sheffer says, I'm a piece out of this one. See you later, Wiggies, and Sheffer not going to be able to dodge away from the Scatter of the Week. And actually, it's going to be both members of Gucci bot lane that are going to fall. Shikioran lands the stun, Algren lands the feather, and lands the kill, but Sench is going to trade one back in the top lane.
Yeah, Gucci getting something on the other side of the map, but yeah, there comes the underdog. Just behind these King Valor's hooks, I think he has hit like something like, I don't know, 13 out of 15 hooks this game, and that's quite a ridiculous performance so far. We see Gucci actually forcing the fight, does have a bit of a gold advantage right there, and yep, the hook on Wiggy sets up the kills for the side of Interstellar, and maybe Sheffer here just staying a little bit too much, and I think he was almost out of it, but yeah, at the end, both of the Gucci botliners died.
Yeah, in the end, Interstellar do find their key picks, and it's going to be a massive play coming out from Interstellar. And I think they're going to be really happy with what King Valhead finds another hook onto Kim Jensen, but there's the other guy, as Viggies is going to match the roam and get his mid laner to safety.
Yeah, I think Viggies just needs to man mark King Valor, because wherever he goes, he just lands a hook. This guy is ridiculous on these hook champions. And
speaking of landing hooks, he's gonna land a hook and dodge away from the other, as Obsidian is now gonna arrive onto the fight, gonna try to bunk out King Valor, but instead it will just be blowing the flash of Zedorzo, which is just as important.
This matchup I cannot stop talking about, but Shikioran's now looking for an engage.
Shikioran looking for the engage onto Kim Jensen. He finally is going to use the flash, and a massive scatter of the week. Unfortunately, that's the Wukong clone, so not so massive in the end, as a massive roam into the mid lane, not finding anything for him to stop.
Yeah, and Sheffer here, with his aggressive tendency, he's kind of looking for an all-in Vita. Vita's farming Sen, but Gonna be forcing the ult from Zaya. Meanwhile, heavy trading in top lane continues. Zench having the 2 kill and 20 CS lead, and I think he might fancy a 1v2 here.
Yeah, I might fancy a 1 versus 2. Sench now fighting Shikioran and Tobataco as he will use the W. Beautiful knockout. And this guy is absolutely unleashed. He's going to go into a killing spree, finding the first kill onto Shikioran. Doesn't land the Q3. And Tobataco will be able to bite back with a kill of his own.
Yeah, Senna's ult just coming in second too late, but still brutal 1v2 here for Zench. Almost outplays it 1v2 for 2 kills, but yeah, it's a big life for that, and we see here. I don't know what K'Sante does that well, so I don't know which ability is which, but it feels like he's landing everything, and he's the most mobile and tanky champion at the same time. It's ridiculous, and we see more fighting in bot lane. Wiggyz is almost dead.
Yeah, more fighting. Wiggyz Ignite dropped onto him. Algren, it's gonna flash forward. A hook is going to land just on Algren as he dies. As we see Zadorzo is gonna fall in the mid lane as well. Kim Jensen gonna pick up that kill, but yeah, it seems like trades happening all across the map, and Interstellar, they are taking the fight to get Gucci in.
Absolutely, and this Gucci bot lane kind of they are used to playing very aggressive, you know. But with champion combination like Senna and Thresh, I don't think they have the damage to win a flat out all in 2v2 here against this Zion. But Obsidian wants to go for a kill. King Valor is still here.
Yeah, I think he came down here just to hold the wave and try and salvage the wave state for his bot lane. Yeah, no recall's been cancelled. There's I think well, actually, I said he was gonna hold the wave, and he just took the whole thing anyway. So I don't think he was holding wave. Yeah,
he wasn't.
Yeah, no, he definitely wasn't. Gold is, well, I was just gonna say gold looks pretty even, and then Zench just right clicks the turret. Gold's not so even anymore. Well, Tobataco is gonna E forward aggressively onto the K'Sante, and well, Mikas, we all know what K'Sante can do. He is currently 3-1. It's looking really scary.
Yeah, and it's really what Zench needs here, because I'll finish it after. King Valor is gonna hit a hook here soon.
Oh my gosh, before a hook is gonna hit, Zench is finding a catch onto Shikioran. W is gonna land. Zench, oh my god, the hook lands onto Zadorzo in the mid lane. Shockwave going down onto the Syndra, and the first one to fall will be the Interstellar mid laner, and the fight on the top side. Zench was able to survive that one. 1v1 now breaking out in the bot lane. Sheffer and Algren is fighting each other, and I guess in a 1 versus 1 duel, the Zaya is favored. Shutdown going over to Tobataco as there's fights happening all across the board. Algren, he's going to go down to Sheffer. How does Zaya lose this 1v1? I don't even understand. As Sheffer will be able to land a beautiful combo. I believe that was the W root ultimate into a last auto attack. So, Sheffer... Why are these two AD carries 1v1ing each other so much this series? I don't know. The Rift Herald now getting started up by Obsidian, and you have to feel Gucci and are in a much better position, but the smite steal comes through. But unfortunately for Interstellar, the team fight does not look like it's going their way. Wiggyz, god damn it, you are such a nuisance, guys. Get and take the goddamn Herald. King Valor is gonna flash over the wall to secure that one himself, but Wiggyz gonna land another death sentence, and it will be the death sentence for Interstellar, as they will drop many kills in this game.
Such a fun team fight, and we see Teleport now in bot lane. This 1v2 is gonna be
bot lane. Sheffer now in danger. He will die to this one. Flash available, not gonna get used as Zadorzo actually finding a solo kill onto Wiggyz. I think Wiggyz stepped into the library all by himself, and Zadorzo will take him down. And a kill back for the Syndra.
I absolutely love that one. Wiggy stepped in the library by himself. That's a meme for the ages. Anyways, the game state, 1.5k gold lead almost for Gucci, but it's gonna be kind of a little bit neglected. Gonna be a little bit caught back by the side of Interstellar if they will take down this turret, which they won't, I guess. But Yeah, extremely fun series so far. Both of these teams are just going for plays after plays, and both of these supports are putting up a show. These AD carries just want to be part of the action as well. They're seeing that there's no much fighting, and Zedorzo
my god, Zedorzo caught once again with another death sentence, and the Syndra is gonna go down. Obsidian gets himself a killing spree. As you see there, you give them 1 inch in Wiggies, it will just hook you out of absolutely nowhere. It's almost like an RKO at this point. As the mid lane turret being brought down to low HP. Now King Valor says, my turn, baby, as he lands a hook onto Zench under the turret. But Zench is a Cassandra. He doesn't give a damn about if he gets hooked under the turret. Chikiora now brought to low HP. Zench will finish that off. And if Wiggy is going to land a hook of his own, King Valor not hitting that one. As now Chef has arrived to the fight. The center is going to be able to land big DPS. Another death sentence. Algren is going to be the recipient of this one. As he says, I was an alpha. But the Zarya ultimate wasn't enough to survive. Make him survive from that one. And Gidgeon, they will dominate this team fight.
Yeah, banger fight there, but silently, Obsidian has been getting himself into a groove. 4-0 and 5 right now. Just huge impact in these team fights. I think this Wukong's ultimates are dealing the most of the damage right now in the game, and yeah, just like that, out of Iggy's plays, they are able to win this team fight. And Algren there, maybe a little bit cold hands, has not been part of these team fights that much, and yeah, gets hit by the Viggy's hook with his ultimate up, and just unfortunate fights there for Interstellar. It's such a close, well contesting game at times from them, but 3 Drakes down, 4k gold down, essentially. Right now, not the best early game for them. Not as bad as actually as it was last game, so we can expect this team to put on a comeback.
Yeah, definitely so. I don't think Interstellar are a team to bow down to their opponents. But for now, Gidgeon in very big control of this game. I mean, we'll see how this one keeps panning out as Zench is going to enter a 1v1 against Tobataco. Ignite is going to get dropped onto the Cassante, but I think Zench is just too goddamn strong. And another solo kill in the books as he's going to grab the Lantern to safety.
Yeah, Zench is having himself a game, to say the least. On this Cassante pick, this man is dangerous, and game 1 we saw him making himself quite a solid lead in the early game, and maybe then die a couple of more times than he would have wanted to. Was not the prettiest of scorelines, but it is still quite a good game by Zench. But yeah, he got caught a couple of times, I have to say that. But this time, putting on even a more impressive show on this Cassante pick, and yeah, proving that he's one of the best top laners we have in SLE. And this champion is one of the strongest that currently is in the game.
Yeah, I think Zench really performing this game, really fighting against Tobataco on a stellar lane phase. And well, Interstellar, they're not going to give it up just now. Scatter the Weak landing onto Obsidian, but it was Obsidian to start that fight, and a beautiful hook landing onto Wiggies. We'll see what Wiggies can do. Can he respond with a hook of his own? Doesn't quite land that one as it goes in between the carries of Interstellar. Scatter the Weak landing onto Sheffer, and the Feathers didn't root up any members of Gucci so won't be anything lethal happening just now, but I think initially already Interstellar will be backing off, and you can see Zench already running into that bot lane, probably will get that turret. Interstellar right now, I believe Tobataco will be deployed as a split pusher, try to get as much as he can on the side lanes, as he will be able to get this turret here and get away. Kim Jensen just picking up the wave, and yeah, dull state for now, but turret's been picked up on both sides.
Looking at the builds, I see that this Blitzcrank is gonna go for the... What's the name of the item?
Yes. Yes. It rhymes with never cost.
Everfrost. Yeah, there we go.
Correct. Ding, 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 ding.
It's getting more difficult to remember the item names when you're not playing as much, but I never bought Everfrost.
Why
anyway,
are you not playing,
so
bro?
I don't care.
Why are you not playing, bro? Oh my god, as King Valor just randomly flashes over the wall, finds himself a hook onto Kim Jensen. You can see teleporter coming in. That's Adorzo and Sench, key members of both teams, and we'll see what Adorzo can do. Oh my god, Wiggy's landing a beautiful hook onto Tobataco. Cyclone by Obsidian running through the members of Interstellar. Scatter the Weak is good. And another death sentence landing from Wiggy's. What a performance from this Thresh. Sench is going to jump forward, flashing onto Shikioran here. He's got the Q3 available. Knocked back. He's going to get flashed away. And another Scatter the Weak from Zadorzo. The spells are landing for Interstellar, but unfortunately for them, Gucci Yin are just landing a bit more.
Yeah, and landing not only a bit more, but the critical abilities. Viggy's hook after hook just lands, but be careful here because Shiki Orin has been on point with these smites. Gucci should not go for a 50-50 against these junglers.
Yeah, nonetheless, they will try to take down this Baron. Shikioran, he's hiding around the wings. You can see that Orianna ball is starting to move around that area, trying to stop Shikioran from entering the pit. He makes his jump in. It might be a little bit too early, but he's actually going to get the smite steal. Obsidian once again losing out on the 1v1 duel. At some point, it is not a 50-50 if you lose every smite, as Shikioran beautifully steals away the Baron.
Yeah, I think I have a leak of Shikiorin's jungle crash course because I guess they just put this guy in a. Oh, we see the replay of Wiggy's just hitting a hook after hook here. It just looks like Interstellar are fighting a good front to back fight, but Wiggy's just getting. First of all, getting mid laner, then getting the ADC, hitting priority targets one after another, and yeah, beautifully done here by the support of Chi. But it was not rewarded with the objective as Shiki Orin just, stealing yet another, outsmiting any jungler in the league yet another time. And very well done by him. He has practiced this smite so well, and King Valor is looking for a hook here.
For a hook. You can imagine Wiggy's probably doing the same. Hex Flash is going to find Kim Jensen. The instant flash from the Orianna. Yeah, keep your eyes on the shockwave because this is a fight in a beautiful position for the Orianna. Obsidian finding a Cyclone on the entire enemy back line. Kim Jensen staying alive for now. He's going to get himself a kill. And it looks like Gucci Yin are completely running away with this team fight. 20 kills to 8. They will get themselves the Infernal Soul.
Yeah, another Infernal Soul. It feels like the Rift Gods are favorite Yin today as they are giving them the best kind of souls, and with already having so much damage in their kits on every champion, and maybe except for the Thresh, but I think, yeah, this soul is just going to make the game so much more harder for Interstellar, for a team that has found their best play in these mid to late games, and so far, not getting favorable objectives there, but with the Baron buff, they can still look to maybe make channel a push or something.
Yeah, they could potentially do that. I think I have to commend Shikioran, and in these smites, he's stealing the objective at every possible opportunity. And I think for Gucci Yin, you're going to start to hit that trigger. When it comes to objectives, do not let the enemy jungler enter the Baron pit. He will steal that away. And, well, Gucci Yin, they will now barrel down the mid lane and try to bid their push forward. But Interstellar, King Valor is going to walk through the lane Obsidian, getting ever frosted up by beautiful reactions, using the Wukong clone to get himself away to safety. The game looks rough for Interstellar. There's no way around it. But let's be honest. Interstellar have shown that they can look for plays in the mid game. They can catch their opponents off guard. And I fully expect Interstellar, as behind as they are, this isn't down and out just yet.
Absolutely not, and especially having a player like King Valor here. Exactly what you said in the champ select. You just need a one key hook on a priority target. Just blow up daily carry. But Biggie is doing his best to match King Valor as well.
Sench is gonna find a solo kill once again onto Tobataco. Apologies for not hyping that one up, Mr. Sench. I was too focused on Wiggy's using scripts on Thresh. As Gucci Yin, they will just push down this mid lane turret. King Val here, forcing the flash out of Chef here. I love this game. I love it.
Yeah.
I love this shit. This is great. But yeah, teleport coming in. A beautiful scatter the weak, landing onto 3. Unfortunately, the Syndra is just a little bit behind, so it didn't really do too much damage. Is that the first turret is going to go down, and King Val here, beautiful hook onto the Orianna. Kim Jensen is going to fall. Algren going to pick up that kill. The inhibitor is going to go down. Zench will take the lantern to safety, but they do find themselves a catch.
And just like that, comebacks are made. King Valor lands
Oh,
beautiful
I'm gonna
hook,
have to
and
stop
keep
you
you
there.
shaky.
Shikioran with a massive engage. Cats of the week to follow. Teleport coming in. The hook isn't going to land. Obsidian is going absolutely crazy in the back line. Cyclone onto 3. Sheffer picks up the first kill of the team fight. Double kill coming in for the center already. Algren having to use the ultimate. Great feather caller to root up 2 members, but Sheffer with the ghost running forward, dodging away from the hook. What can he do? He isn't going to quite land the last auto attack. They might push through the Nexus here. Wiggy's just about missing out on the hook, but Zench jumping forward aggressively. Gucci in. Not many minion waves. They could be overstaying their welcome. Hook is going to land onto Wiggy's under the enemy turret. King Val here will get the kill and reap the rewards of that one. Obsidian gets the top lane turret, and Gucci in. They drop some members, but you have to feel overall big win for them.
Yeah, big win indeed. And even through King Valor's most admirable attempts to kind of swing the game around, Gucci is just relentlessly pushing forward, taking objectives. Even if the hook lands on Kim Jensen, they get that what they came for, getting the inhibitor. And yeah, Interstellar, they're a little bit lucky to not find themselves even more deaths in that scenario, because they were running away with blinking hell bars. So it's hard for me to imagine a way for Interstellar to get back into this game, because even with the hooks hitting, I think they don't have the damage just yet. They need a level 16 from Zedorzo. I'm not sure if he has the execute on his ultimate just yet, and yes, they absolutely need more and more gold onto Algren as well. He has had quite a difficult series so far, and if they're gonna win, they definitely need the ready carry to be popping off in these fights. So far, Sheffer has been the stronger side of that matchup.
Yeah, he definitely has been on the center. 6, 2, and 6. 3 items completed in the inventory. Interstellar, though, they will aggressively start up the Baron here. I really like this call. Yeah, I really like this call. Shikioran has been winning out on the smites. I don't think Gucci Yin are aware of this at all, as the Baron buff is already going to get taken down, but you can see Obsidian jumping forward aggressively. Scats of the week is good. And that shockwave is even better as it lands on all the members of Interstellar. But a beautiful feather caller from Algren is going to root on multiple members of Gucci Yin, but it's not going to be quite enough just yet. Wiggy's going to keep playing aggressively. Interstellar, they do get themselves the Baron nonetheless, but a beautiful shockwave from Kim Jensen turning the tide of the team fight for them.
Yeah, so much AoE landed there by Gucci. I think the ultimate of Wukong also landed on multiple members, including the third Q of Cassante, setting up a massive Orianna ultimate. And if this Orianna had her death... Rabadon's death gap completed, then I believe that ultimate would have absolutely one-shot the team.
That would have been absolutely lethal here. Beautiful shockwave catching everybody. And yeah, game right now looking a lot more one-sided than the last one.
Yeah, but still, 31 minutes in, this game is not closed. Again, Interstellar just finding ways to stick their teeth in the game. They're actually down just... Is that a bug? Are they down just 2.5, basically 2,000 gold?
Yeah, that is absolutely insane. And I think, well, to be fair, a lot of that probably will be just because Senna isn't naturally going to farm as much as a regular AD carry. A lot of gold is sitting in the Valley of Souls. The Shikioran is actually going to find a flank onto Wiggy, so the Thresh could be going down. A hook landing onto Kim Jensen, and he flashes right into the hands of Zedorzo. Interstellar, they're looking to come back. They're taking down 3 members of Gucci Yin, and there's only 2 left. This is the Elder Dragon take. If they can take down these 2 members, they will be able to secure the Dragon. They're winning out on the team fight. Shut down, going for Tomataco. It's Zench, he's the only one alive. Can he do a Cassante moment? He's not going to be able to do so. Zedorzo lands the final Q to complete the ace, and Interstellar, they got themselves the Baron in the top side, and they'll be able to get themselves the Elder Dragon 32 minutes into the game.
My eyes are popping out. 32 minutes in the game. Interstellar again grabs the gold lead, and they're gonna grab themselves the Elder Dragon as well. So huge victory for Quill's squad here. They are not out at all. We were talking about. We see just Gucci just finding themselves engaged on from all positions. As the backline gets instantly caught. Both of the carries dying just like that. Obsidian follows, and the PGs follows after. Zench tries to outplay this 1v4, just showing how strong is this champion and how great is Zench playing, but just doesn't have enough juice. And after that, the Drake is also secured by Interstellar. And to be fair, right now they are in a prime position to win this game.
They are indeed. The Elder Dragon is in their hands. One more team fight, and they probably have enough to push through the base of Gucci Yin. And for them, dropping this game, what does that mean for the series? Because you were so far ahead of this. You were so far ahead of Interstellar, and so dropping this would mean such detrimental results for the rest of the series here. Gucci Yin now. I can't believe that we're in a position where they're having to play defense here, but that is the reality of the situation, because Interstellar, they've got the Elder Dragon in their hands, and we'll take a look at the gold lead. They are 27 kills to 16, and they are ahead on the gold. Where that has come from, I have no clue, but more importantly, Gucci Yin now, they can't slip up. They lose one more team fight, and that could be the end of the game. And we talk about best of fives, we talk about series. You know, momentum is so important. Getting to match point, you don't want to equalize the series, and that's exactly what Interstellar want to do.
It's not just using the, I don't know, I guess the bounty hack or whatever, because it's actually incredible for me to see that being down in turrets, being down in at farm at most roles, being down in kills by more than 10 kills, they're still having the gold lead. Incredible comeback again by Interstellar. They are putting on a show, and I think games like these is something that kind of maybe changes your confidence as a team. You start to feel like whatever we do, what can we do to get this team out of here? Whatever we do, they are always coming back in these games, and difficult situation to approach for Gucci Yin here. And the mental resilience necessary to withstand these kind of grind fests is nothing easy to do.
Not easy to do whatsoever, but nonetheless, Interstellar. I do want to take a moment here to talk about something. Interstellar, I think, coming in to the SLE, they weren't seen as... No, actually, correct. I'm going to correct myself, because they were highly rated by a lot of SLE community members. They were rated within the top 4, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, coming into it. And then after a while, as games played out, they started off so strong. They were showing themselves as a top roster. And then, unfortunately, they lost, was it Hyalurn to a university, better than losing your jungler to a date. And... Scouts of the Week is going to land onto Zench. He's going to have to use the W to safety. But yeah, as I was saying, this Interstellar squad, they've gone through some roster changes. The additions of Shikiorin and Tobitaka to their team, they have pushed themselves to a top roster in the SLE. These players are so strong. Tobitaka in SLE finals. Shikiorin, probably the best SLE player to exist that has never won the SLE. And yeah, this Interstellar squad upgraded to a degree that we never imagined them to.
And these are going to be the key moments in the game. It's everyone's game at this moment, and they are engaging on Zench. At this moment, even Zench is killable, as a massive tank as he is. So much damage coming in from Interstellar here, and I believe King Valor can even look for a hook onto this tank here, because the damage coming from the Syndra and Xayah at this stage is insane.
So incredible, the damage that is being output from all of these units here, and you have to feel the nerves are starting to creep in, and you can see it. None of these two teams, like Gucci Yin at some point, they were just running around looking for kills left, right, center. But Gucci Yin, they're starting to play with a bit of caution now, as Hook is going to go wide. Gucci Yin, no, but Shikiorin finds a beautiful flank onto all the members of Gucci Yin, and they're going to get taken down. Zench is being brought to his knees. Obsidian, the Cyclone, isn't going to be doing enough. The Senna ultimate doesn't find the kill onto Zadorzo. Kim Jensen is going to be next on the menu. Double kill coming in for Algren, and Interstellar could they have done it. Are they pushing through the base of Gucci Yin? Teleport coming in. This could be the end of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Interstellar finding a beautiful engage by who else than the Shiki Orin. Just swapping to the jungle. First thing he learns is to smite. Second thing he learns is to land a 5-man engages at the crucial stages of the game. And with that, Interstellar Aquila gets an inhibitor and is going to get a Baron after this as well. And such a difficult position for Gucci to approach here. They have been outscaled a bit here. They are in a problematic stage and they will be down the Baron.
They will be down a Baron. Interstellar have flipped the switch on this game. Gucci Yin, they can't give up this Elder because I feel this Elder Dragon will determine who will win this game. As you can see, teleport coming in. Blue buff taken down for Sheffer. And Gucci Yin, they seem to be setting up some sort of a trap. And Interstellar, they will be grouped up as 5. Blue Trinket drops in the mid lane. Zench will show up. Kim Jensen, keep your eyes on him. Chunking out King Valher, but it didn't do that much damage. As keep your eyes on this play here, because Interstellar, they are just going to push down the mid lane wave, and you can see Gucci Yin, they're starting to panic. They're telling themselves, we can't just let them push the mid wave. As an engage comes in, that's going to be an Obsidian's clone. So nothing so far, and Zench is going to get hooked by the Blitzcrank, but Shikioran, this time the engage isn't as good as the last one. Interstellar going to keep focusing on the wave here. This is going to be a great chance for them to push down a Nexus turret, but instead they get the mid lane wave in, and they will back off for now. Gucci Yin, you can see they need to make something happen to Dorzo. He went down, stun. Distorts the situation for the Syndra, and Obsidian, he's gonna go in. Hook, not gonna land so far. Tobatako now on the menu. A shockwave is beautiful. It's gonna land at the 2 members, and there goes the GA popped for Tobatako. Shutdown coming in from Sheffer, and that's why you can't just whiff the Syndra stun. It's too important of an ability. You see, that was the go button for the Gucci Yin members as they start pushing down the mid lane.
And can they do it now? They are fighting against the Baron buff team, but King Valor kind of oversteps. Zedorzo gets caught again.
Zedorzo getting caught again. Your champion is a ranged unit. You do not walk up to Zench because he will punish you. And it seems like Interstellar's comeback was on the horizon, but it wasn't quite enough. Zench landing another beautiful play onto King Valher. Triple kill coming in for the Cassante. And the distance is going to land onto Shikiorin. He's going to try to get away, but it's not going to be enough. A quadra kill coming in for Zench on the Cassante. 13-4 and 12. Interstellar's Nexus. Good try on the comeback, but unfortunately Gucci Yin, they take game 2.
Absolute heartbreak here from for Interstellar. I believe that they fought so well to come back into this game, and approaching that final push by them, it felt so similar to game 1 ending by Gucci, where they kind of were pushing the same way, and Interstellar was coming from the same side. That time, Sheffer popped off on a Twitch. This time, Zedorzo, his number was called, but he just uses unadvisedly kind of the Tindra E, and after that, Gucci just engaging on them just like that, and just some play. Just rookie mistake by Zedorzo here. So much pressure coming in that moment in the game, and unfortunate for Interstellar, as they definitely do deserve a win here as well, but they're finding themselves down 0-2.
Yeah, they're taking the seriously Gucci Yin, but unfortunately it is match point for Gucci Yin. They drop one more game and Interstellar will have to say goodbye to them. Savage, let's head to one more break. Well, hopefully not one more, because I'd love to see more games, but let's head to another break before we get into game 3. But for now, don't go anywhere, everyone. We'll be back very, very soon.
we're back in this kind of how can I say, surprising SLE Sunday, as I just got news about a different series result. Not sure if I can talk about it. And I for a second thought that this series is 1-1, even though I'm commenting it. But no, it's 2-0. Yin is leading the series, but in two very, very close games. This is the closest 2-0 that we have seen so far.
Yeah, the closest 2-0 we've seen. I think Interstellar, they need to look back on game 1 and game 2 and say, we didn't get stomped. Gucci Yin have approached so many teams, wiped the floor with them, and then just moved on with the day. Interstellar should hold their head up high here and be like, we aren't one of those teams. We are taking the fight to one of the best in the SLE, and they need to be proud of that. I think going into this last game here, there have been signs of life, but I think the mistakes that Interstellar make are just slightly too crucial. Like in that last game there, they were in that winning position there. But then Zedorzo stepping up on the Syndra to try and land a stun, then kind of whiffing, and then that was like the gateway for Gucci Yin to engage the fight, because that Syndra didn't have the Scat of the Week anymore. That combo was gone. And it's small mistakes like this where Interstellar, if they can avoid doing this in this game, that's where I genuinely think they can take the fight to Gucci Yin.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's an unfortunate ending. We have to say, a bit anticlimactic ending there for Interstellar, as they fought so well to come back into that game. And Zedorzo also made so many good plays during that game, but just a bit of a misstep there at the end. Leaves a sour taste in your mouth. You have to quickly reset your mental. Of course, you just lost two very, very mentally draining games. And right now you're finding yourself at the elimination game, but there's no time to worry, no time to overthink what just happened. You just need to reset and just have a better early game this time, because if this squad can survive the Yin's early game, I believe they have so many tools to combat them in the mid to late game, where we already have seen them 2 times.
My mic muted. It's because every time I go to drink water, I mute my mic. It makes noises. Whatever. Anyway, as I was saying, there's a really good point you bring up there, and I think one thing I need to bring up, Gucci Yin. Let's not forget these guys. You can see that there's a very massive lack of practice in this team. This is the first time they're playing a series together since. They played BLM, but BLM in this one, before that, they didn't have their full roster against Gucci Yang. They didn't have their full roster against Vitagen, and they've come back here as a 5 once again into playoffs. You can see there are slight errors being made by Gucci in the mid to late game, and I think as much as Interstellar have done a fantastic job punishing the oversteps of Gucci Yin, I'm gonna have to be a bit critical here and say these games should not be close. Yeah, game 1 and game 2, you look at the early game, it's one of those things where you're like, okay, you click away for a few minutes, you go, I don't know, make a cup of tea, you come back and watch the next game. But instead, you like click away for a bit, you come back, and then Interstellar have 3 objectives, they've taken 5 turrets, and you're like, wait, what? How has this happened? And that's been the story of this series. I don't think Yin... Yes, scoreline wise, it's been dominant, but they haven't been necessarily that dominant in the mid game.
Absolutely not. You're saying they're making slight errors. I would say they're making massive errors, because they're throwing massive leads, and in game state where the game's absolutely over. We see Interstellar kind of out rotating them in these Baron dances and these Drake fights, and time after time, it feels like Interstellar are in a position to win these games. And maybe if this roster of Interstellar Aquila would have played together for the whole split, the story would have been different. But Yin just clutching it out by a little bit at the end. And we talked in the off screen with Pepper about Viggy's getting this trash time after time. This time, not getting his hands on the trash, because Pepper wanted this champion to be taken away from this star support of Yin, and it's being taken away.
Taken away indeed, and after the first two games, I think Interstellar know that the Wiggies is one of the best threshers that they will come against. Respect, let's throw some respect to King Val here, a really, really incredible thresh player himself. But the Rel locked in for Gitchi Yin, and as far as I'm aware, I don't think Obsidian plays this, so this isn't a flex pick for them. This will go into the hands of Wiggies, and we'll see what else they pick in the draft. I'm curious to see what they go for jungle, because we know Obsidian, he has his comforts, he's got his champion pool, but this series he's played champions that we haven't seen him play.
Absolutely, and we see another champion that we haven't seen a lot on Yin's side, the Ashe being locked in, a champion that the other cheat teams, Eddie Kanze is more known for, but this time Scheffer will pilot Ashe himself, and this champion kind of required a special mentality, like kind of looking at angles and controlling your champions, maybe movement and positioning quite well, and understanding of your team's follow-up range and things like that. So Scheffer taking on that challenge, we saw him last time on a Senna, where I think he had an excellent game onto the Senna. So I'm sure that he is able to pilot this Ashe pick as well, and a spicy jungle coming in here from Interstellar Aquila. Shiki Orin is putting out the Fiddlesticks.
Ooh, the Fondo Stonks Game 3 knockout match, and Shiki Orin will show up with the Fiddlesticks pick, and we'll see what Obsidian does. And you have the Ivan open, a champion that he has played a lot, pretty decent into the Fiddlesticks as well. Defensive tools for his team. Oh god. Okay.
That's the matchup of jungle if I've ever seen one.
So Obsidian gonna lock in the Nocturne as well, I mean, we'll see if he's gonna create a nightmare for himself or for his opponents here. I believe this is a first for him in the SLE across the two splits he's played. Please don't fact check me, that would take too long, but yeah, the Nocturne locked in for Obsidian, and a very aggressive pick, and Obsidian, he's done a great job on these aggressive picks here, but I think a Nocturne is a very different beast. You kind of go in and you either kill or be killed situation, and it's very different to the likes of Java and Wukong, where you can go in creative fashions. Nocturne engage is as simple as is. He presses R, that's it, and yeah, I mean, we'll see how this one goes for him.
With champions like Wukong, like Talia, even I don't know, maybe Lee Sin, right, being up, going for the Nocturne, it feels borderline he is specifically picking this champion as a Fiddlesticks counter. I'm not sure how that matchup plays out, because it really feels like both of these junglers really want to farm for level 6 and then kind of use their ultimates to make plays around the map, but yeah, maybe if Fiddlesticks ults, then Nocturne just ults, and Fiddlesticks doesn't know which should he go when he ults. I don't know. It might be a funny interaction. Let's hope Nocturne doesn't break the stream again.
Might be a funny interaction indeed. And well, Mikas, what is your prediction based off the draft?
Well, we saw game 1 and 2, and it just feels like no matter what's the state of the game, it's still going to 40 minutes. And yeah, just seeing how much the mental resilience that it took Gucci to win game 1 and 2, I think they have the momentum on their side, and I don't even think that the draft is that important here. I think they will just mentally, they are stronger position right now, and they will take this through 3-zip.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that one materializes into practicality. Obsidian will go from top to bot, as junglers will be clearing in opposite ways. So for Sen, she needs to watch out for that early Fiddlesticks gank, and for Algren and King Val here, they'll need to watch out for any potential shenanigans the Nocturne wants to do. But usually with Nocturnes, they don't really like to gank until they hit level 6.
Curious to see one thing though. If I'm a player, right, and if I'm down 0-2, especially if I'm the star player of my team, at game 3, I'm probably I don't even care about draft that much. I'm probably just calling for my own number and picking myself a champion that I feel super comfortable on, that I can carry the game. We see Zdorzo here going for the third Syndra in row, not going for his maybe well-known assassin picks, not going for Katarina, not going for Akali. As we see, Kim Jensen
Level 2
walking out of
room
the
going onto Kim Jensen. But will just be a trade of HP as Shikioran was also here. So a lot invested there considering this was the early game. And Jensen will just kind of slowly walk away. But yeah, please continue your point because yeah, very, very interesting to talk about.
Yeah, just Zdorzo not going for his famous champions. I don't even think Vladimir was banned, and that's a champion that Zdorzo has found himself most success in playoffs. And just committing to this Syndra pick, talk to me. Would you not pick Azir if it was up and your team was down 0-2?
Honestly, the thing about series and the thing about the SLE is you always got to go for your comfort, regardless of the position of the champion. You pick comfort most of the times you are going to win. Like, I remember it was last split against Dolly 5. Azir was a really unplayable champion. I picked it anyway, and you know, worked out pretty well for me. I gotta say, sunglasses emoji, but you know, I think it is always worth going for comfort, and especially like in the case of Zdorzo here, I think, don't get me wrong, he's had fantastic Syndra games. It's just, you can see that there are moments where he's not as comfortable as he is on the Assassins, which is fine. He's developed very, very well, and he's slowly becoming a very versatile mid laner. But for now, yeah, Assassins are his bread and butter, and things like the Vladimir, like the Katarina, is something that he's more attuned to than the Syndra. Yeah, well, he was starting the lane out very well, but yeah, I think we've... Oh, actually, Sench on a 1v1 with Tobataco. Sench almost been taken down to low HP. We'll get the heal off the Q3 and Obsidian now arriving in the top lane. No vision here for the Renekton. He does have the flash available, but Sench... Oh, you can see Sench is playing really cautiously because Tobataco can just flash forward. Obsidian will be able to trade one back, but Sench gets solo killed in the top lane matchup.
Yeah, Tobataco getting his revenge. Had such a difficult game last time around, and this time seeing that there's absolutely no way he's gonna escape. Great presence of mine here by Tobataco, giving his team a chance, this time in early game. I think this is the first early game lead that Interstellar Aquila has had all series, and well done by the Crocodile in the top.
Yeah, incredible game coming out from Tobataco this time around. I think in previous iterations of this matchup, Sench has been the favor over Tobataco, but this time around on the Renekton, getting the solo kill onto Sench, and solo kill onto Sench, that's not something we've said very often this split, so there's a small handful of players who can do that, and on my screen, Tobataco seems to be one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now he's gonna look for a dive, I believe, or at least gonna bully Zench out from the CS. Meanwhile, Shikioran gets caught taking a dragon. Obsidian gets caught actually, but yeah, with so much damage coming from Jensen.
Yeah, and actually Tobataco in the top lane will trade 1-for-1. Obsidian will go down eventually to Zdorzo. It was a last auto attack that secured it. Shikioran will claim the dragon for his team. King Val here whiffing out. Beautiful movement coming out from Kim Jensen. Sheffer gonna try to play janitor and clean up this team fight here. Gucci in. They lose the objective. They lose members of their team, but nonetheless they will be able to pick up some kills off the back end of this fight. Algren with the Ghost will run through some Nexus towers and get himself to safety. The kill score was evened up, but Interstellar much better early game this time around.
Yeah, messy fight there by Chi team. I think Obsidian found himself on more members of the enemy team than he planned to. Actually got I think taken out of the fight even before it really started, but I think Kim Jensen there dealt so much damage, and curiously he's going for an instant Merc threads there, and I guess really respecting the Syndra stuns and Fiddlestick Fears coming out in this early.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, sorry. You went all robotic at the end of that. Yeah, I think yeah, Gucci in they're not in a terrible position here, but the concern is this top lane right now. Topataka is so far ahead of Sench, and I know Gucci and they play a lot of the strength of this top laner here. He is so vital for how they play out team fights later on, and they will have to continue with him being in a deficit. I'm not sure this is a position that they are too attuned to being in, but Obsidian, he will find a gank onto Zadorzo in the Nocturne, finding big value in the early game, as, well, Zadorzo will be the next victim of the Paranoia.
Sometimes this is what the crucial moment for any Nocturne game, right? The first ultimate, if it hits, it kind of like sets you up for a good game. If it doesn't hit, it feels like you go in a ult tilt. And this time it hits, and we see Topataka here out trading heavily, but Obsidian is coming here to cover his top laner.
Obsidian now moving towards the top lane. King Valher as well, moving towards mid lane. As you can see, Kim Jensen trying to get that wave in. Obsidian now gonna get the fear off onto Topataka. You can see Interstellar members are starting to move up here. They need to finish off the Renekton quickly, otherwise it's gonna be too little too late. And Shiki Oren arriving with the Crow Storm, getting a double kill for him. And just as I said, Gucci Yin were on a timer to make that play happen. But they didn't reach it in time, and Tabataka gets away with his life, and Shikiorin gets away with 2 kills.
And it feels like Gucci just a little bit over-focused on this top side, knowing the fact that they don't have that much time to make this play happen, but still kind of tunnel visioning on it. And Kim Jensen now.
Ooh, Kim
Just
Jensen gonna get knocked up by King Valher. Scats of the Week is gonna land as well. We'll just walk away, but very, very close for Interstellar to get the kill. I don't know if Zadorzo had the unleashed power, as I believe it did just come off cooldown. Nonetheless, Gucci Yin will try to get some plates in the bot lane as King Valher will encounter Wiggies. Sheffer took a turret shot there, so being brought down to half HP. You can see Algren, you know, I wanted to point out Algren has had a rough series in the 1v1, but taking a champion like Sivir is going to allow him to play safer, and he's going to allow him to kind of just clear waves without the fear of getting solo killed.
Yeah, and the first time this series, Zench is getting kind of punished here by Topataka. Topataka, a very well-known top laner, reached finals last season on the squad of Dolly 5, and Zench this time one of the best top laners of this season. This is actually quite an interesting matchup that we haven't been talking about that much, but yeah, it's basically a season 4 SLE against season 5 SLE, and so far season 5 SLE is coming out on top, except for this game. This game Topataka is putting on solid work.
Yeah, solid stuff coming up from Topataka here. An Empire who is so well respected amongst the SLE community. I don't think you'll find a single player that underrates Topataka or says that he is not a player worthy of his reputation. He's made a claim for himself as a strong top laner, and he's come into this Interstellar team. I believe their old top laner Marcus was, you know, respectfully a big reason for a lot of issues on this Interstellar roster. But with Topataka now at the helm in the top lane, they are much more upgraded, and I would love to see this Interstellar roster keep going at the end of this, but unfortunately it would mean it would be at the cost of Gucci Yin, so I don't want to really believe in that, as we need one team at least bidding for the SLE title. As Dragon gets started up here, priority was taken by the lanes of Gucci Yin, meaning they get this Dragon for free. Obsidian didn't even secure that one.
Yeah, I mean,
we're
unbiased casters here. We're rooting for both teams to win this, but secretly we are the creators of Gucci Gaming. We see Topataka just pulling out Zench, and this matchup, it feels like very, very difficult for Aatrox so far, because their Crocodile is just too mobile.
It's a tough one, and Topataka is playing this out really, really well, but there's a concerning sign here. Topataka is slowly building towards that Gore Drinker, and essentially only has the Phage Well, actually, Obsidian is going to use the paranoia in the bot lane, but Shikioran reads this play perfectly, using the Crow Storm to defend his AD carry, and Algren will land the final blade. And Obsidian, he had such a good early game, but is now sitting at 1-3.
Yeah, I want to remind you, last 2 games, Gucci had a massive lead in early and mid game, but found themselves throwing it and went all the way to minute 30 to 40, and fought themselves till a moment where gold lead didn't even matter anymore. And in some of those games, Interstellar was in the gold lead, and this time Interstellar holding a 2,000 gold lead in 13 minutes, quite a sizable lead. And if they played so well with being behind, what can they do with the golding? And all this coming in with the dorsal sidestep it. And
Yeah.
this is exactly what I'm talking about, kind of mental side and like kind of knowledge side when playing the Ashe. These type of ults coming from the base almost never hits. Just saying.
Well, depends if your name is Savage. The Scat of the Week is going to land on Kim Jensen, but this might be an ill-taken fight as the Chaos Storm from Victor will push Zadorzo under his turret off HP Syndra. More fighting happening in the top lane as Zench. He might be in the face of another solo kill. The flash is going to come out from the Aatrox. Turbo Attacker sees Obsidian in the background. The Demolish might finish off the turret in time. Obsidian might look to get the fear off. Kim Jensen dies in the mid lane. Zench doesn't want to step forward for a kill, but Zench gonna land the final blow. Turbo Attacker is gonna go down. Shikioran in a 1 versus 1, gonna get the Crow Storm off. And Obsidian, he's not gonna be able to fight this one out. It's fear against fear, but King Val here is going to arrive to finish off the kill. And Interstellar, beautiful early game from them.
Yeah, finding success in the top side. Shikioran this time, the role swap jungler, 3-1-4, finding himself a champion performance so well. This Fiddlesticks has been such a scary pick to play against for Gucci in this time in game 3. Backs against the wall, Interstellar are fighting. They don't want to be eliminated. They have their eyes on the SLE champion title. Maybe the other league followers don't agree with that, but I'd say Zadorzo definitely joined the league to defeat the Gucci teams and to go all the way to the finals. So yeah, and players like Shikioran, also a lot of experience in SLE, losing in finals last time around, but this time he does not want to give up.
No, doesn't want to give up indeed. And I think let's touch on the secret history between these two teams, because for some reason it just exists. And yeah, Zadorzo wanting to play this split specifically to take down any of the Gucci teams and at least try to make his bid an argument that he is a top mid laner in the league. But unfortunately for him, I think I don't think they took a game off Yang, and right now he is 0-2 against Yin. But I have to say, very impressed with the way Zadorzo has adapted throughout the split. I think coming into it, he was seen as a small champion pool player. I like that he is picking up the Syndra here. Now, of course, question marks around the comfort side of things. You can see he's not 100% comfortable on the Syndra, but you know, he is able to land some key stuns and play out some big team fights. Shikioran is going to get a fear, and Wiggies lands a beautiful engage onto the Interstellar members. Shikioran will go to stasis, and talk about Scat of the Week. Zadorzo finds a beautiful play. He teleports into the fight and rips apart the Gucci team composition. Kim Jensen is forced to flash away. Algren has the flash available, but with the Ghost and Ultimate pops, he won't need to do that. He goes onto a rampage, and even Wiggies is going to fall on the back line. It's all Interstellar in this early game.
Dominating Interstellar, just running over Gucci Yin here, and this is not looking that well for them. Zench will find himself killed as well. That's a delayed ace for Interstellar. They will take themselves another dragon as well, so huge play by them. And I was saying before this game, we saw what they did with gold deficit. Imagine what they can do with gold lead, and so far, beautifully done by Interstellar squad.
Yeah, I just want to remind, because I'm looking at Twitch chat, if you are in the game, do not type in Twitch chat. Thank you very much. But yeah, beautiful. You can see, I mean, Mikas, you can take this highlight.
Yeah, we see that Gucci finding themselves a great game engage. Viggy's known as the best rail player in SLE, finding yet another great engage, but just not enough gold right now, not enough items right now on the carries of Gucci. Yes, we saw Victor, we saw Kim Jensen using all of his combo, the ultimate, the E, the Q, but he did not delete the opposing jungler, and I believe it was the Rakan as well there, and yeah, they got out just a little bit, and then Interstellar just counter-engaging, wiping Gucci off of the map.
Yeah, Gucci Yin. They had such good early games in game 1, game 2, and as you said, this time around, not so good of an early game. And Interstellar, they look so comfortable. And when you think about the stakes, this is the knockout game. If Interstellar lose this, they are done and dusted in the SLE. And they're buying back really big time here. They still have the game to close out, but they are looking very comfortable, and I imagine this will be the level up series. Oh, the level up game, sorry.
Absolutely, and they are responding to the challenge. They know that this is the elimination game. They don't have any more games left if they lose this one. The lives, they're all out of lives, and they are, their number is called, and they are answering kind of, I would even call it a dominating early game so far. 7,000 gold lead in 19 minutes. This is nearing very difficult to come back state, and yeah, especially with Shikiorin being this strong, Zorza also being this strong. Basically, all three of the damage dealers of the Interstellar squad are so far ahead, so strong. And the moment Zorza finishes his death cap as well, there's just any of the team members approaching this front line and this back line of Interstellar are gonna get deleted.
Yeah, they will do. And Gucci Yin, we've seen already Obsidian trying his best to salvage the top lane situation, but whenever they do, both Zench and Obsidian just find themselves caught between a rock and a hard place. And yeah, they find themselves in a sticky situation here. Zench 2-5, Obsidian 1-5, 10 deaths between the two top-siders of Gucci Yin, and it's not a great look. Zench had a very difficult lane phase, and we saw Turbo Taco got the better of him in this matchup. And Interstellar, you know, such a great outcome here as Wiggies is going to interact with King Val here in the jungle, but it won't amount to anything. You can see Sheffer playing towards the bot side, but nothing happening for now. As yeah, as I said, Interstellar really making a name for themselves.
And what does Interstellar really need to do here to close out this game? We saw last few games the leading team just doing these Baron dances, just forcing resources out of the opposing squad time after time. And I believe it's something that Interstellar are also looking to do here. And it's like the Dorzo that have had that problem on King Val.
Oh, King Val here finds the massive engage. He's going to get feared up though, as Obsidian is going to try to finish him off. Unstoppable goes Algren, double kill. King Val here didn't even go down. Interstellar are just wiping the floor with Gucci Yin, and they have nothing to respond to. These are the 5 death members of Gucci Yin surviving, but unfortunately for Zench, it might be 6. Shikiorin playing a little bit aggressive. Oh, that's a massive shutdown coming in for Zench, and Shikiorin, the experienced player, might have just given this Aatrox a lifeline. As, well, it will just be the mid lane turret, and Obsidian even can't find his way back home as Interstellar, they do win out on the team fight just anyway. They get themselves an inhibitor turret, but teleport has come in, and has teleported in. Kim Jensen as well, he's going to follow. Wiggy's only going to start up top attack when flashes to safety. Now the Renekton is in danger. The Chaos Storm right on top of his head. Zench is going to potentially look for the final kill. Obsidian is going to be the one to take the kill credit. Now Gucci Yin, they are bouncing back and biting back in a few kills, but Interstellar still in control of the game. Gucci Yin notifying that the Renekton is down for 30 seconds. So the Baron is going to be the focus, and I can't imagine much contest coming out here.
I can
Oh,
imagine a
just
lot
as
of
I
contest
said that.
coming.
Yeah, just as I said that, teleport coming into the top lane, but Turbo Taco isn't alive for another 20 seconds. Obsidian already being brought to low
Shiki
HP.
has
Off
ult.
HP for the Nocturnes. There, Dorzo, beautiful scatter the weak, but he's gonna get caught out. It's the same story. It's Dorzo. He's done the exact same thing as he did in game 2. He lands a random scatter the weak all by himself, and Gucci in. They flip the switch. They get the kill onto the Syndra, and Gucci in. They're starting to find picks around the map.
I was looking at Shiki at that moment. It felt like he could have ulted all over the wall and just wiped Gucci's side, but no, he decides not to. Meanwhile, Zadorzo, yes, again, finding himself overstepping, being shut down. That's a lot of gold coming back in Gucci's pockets here, but they're still down by quite a bit. Losing the third dragon. This is the sole point for Interstellar Aquila's side, and they are in such a strong position to win this game so far.
Such a strong position indeed, and well, for Interstellar, you can see that, you know, slight mistakes, and this is what cost them games in game 1 and 2, and they need to avoid doing that once again. I think I've just noticed something in Twitch chat. Zadorzo did have the Unleash Power, which he landed that initial combo onto Obsidian, who's brought to low HP, and if you Unleash Power there, that's a dead Nocturne and a potential Baron take. And unfortunately for him, he didn't want to use it. Did fall down in the end. So a crucial error there, and Zadorzo actually managed to he got himself caught out as a result of that. But for now, they need to make sure they can't slip up. We know the power of bounty gold. Algren, if a kill gets picked up on this Sivir, that's going to be 1,000 gold shutdown in the hands of any member of Gucci. And so it is extremely situational right now that Interstellar need to avoid as many of these mistakes as possible.
Yeah, and coming here from Gucci's side, I was about to say.
Speaking of mistakes, Obsidian gets the paranoia onto Turbo Taco. Zench picked up so many shutdowns off the back of these fights, so the Aatrox no longer is as weak as he was before, and the Renekton now getting feared up. There's even a kill in the mid lane. Somehow, Algren's taken down. Kim Jetson just cashed in on 1,000 gold, and there's even a kill in bot lane. Interstellar, they're capitulating whilst ahead in the mid game.
How does Algren die there? We did not see, because it's an absolute heartbreak. It's gonna be objective bounty as well. That's 1,000 gold. Yeah, exactly in the pocket of Kim Jensen and the objective bounty, and they even get Turbo Taco on the sideline. Terrible news for Interstellar here, as they're doing their best impression of Gucci Yin in game 1 and 2.
Yeah, doing their best impression, throwing their early game lead. Well, I will have to say, if they're gonna continue this impression, Gucci Yin did actually manage to win out those games. So maybe Interstellar, no, they're like, okay, we're gonna get ahead early, throw a little bit in the mid game, and then we'll win anyway. But unfortunately, that is one of those Cinderella stories, which if there are any BLM fans in the chat, you know how that one ends. Sorry. Yeah, Gucci Yin, they are still in a big deficit. Zadorzo on the Syndra, death cap in his inventory, he is massive. Algren, yes, he did just fall, but look at that. Almost the third item completed, working towards that one right now. And yeah, we take a look at the gold makers. Members of Interstellar are so far ahead. Oh, actually, Zadorzo is not far ahead.
At some roles they are ahead, at some not so much.
Shiki is behind.
Yeah. Shiki actually is behind, so yeah, Nocturne has out-farmed him basically, and has picked up some couple of kills in this mid to late game. And if we look only at the item differences, even this Ashe, which is 1 and 2, is I believe just like a half an item behind Algren here, and yeah, the lead is not that big. Similarly to last few games, this is not over yet, and Valor is actually down to less than half HP from tanking the Baron, and they are looking for an engage.
Yeah,
Shiki will counter-engage.
He's going to go with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and Wiggies lands a massive engage onto Interstellar members, and the storyline continues. You get a lead in the early game, it doesn't matter. The mid game is where it's important, and it looks like Good Chi Yin are going to run rampant. Algren has no support left for his safety, and he's going to go down. Double kill coming in for Sheffer. The initial catch onto the Renekton plays out the team fight. Good Chi Yin will get themselves the Baron.
I cannot believe it must be such a heartbreaking moment for Shiki that he's channeling his ultimate at the perfect position, with Biggies of all people goes for a hero play here, stopping the Fiddlesticks engage, I believe, and looked so good for a second for Interstellar. Looked like Gucci have overstepped their welcome, and no, they have not. Wiggies, the highlight, the human highlight reel, making a huge play again. Beautifully done by Yin. They are back into this game, only down by 1.4k.
Yeah, human highlight reel. I think Wiggies should change his name at one point, call himself HHR. No, I was trying to say Triple H, you know, like a take on that.
Oh,
anyway, Shikiorn is just gonna ult in, and not the story. This time, Obsidian is gonna secure the smite. Sheffer goes on a killing spree. Mikus, what happened to Interstellar?
I'm not sure. It feels like they know how to play from behind, but once they have the lead, they looked absolutely headless. And we actually saw shades of it in the regular season as well. Against Yang, they got the dominating lead with the Shikis or in Samir, I believe. And that time also, it did not go that well. And this time as well, right now, they still have the goal lead, but they don't have the Baron. And it feels like Gucci Yin has all the momentum.
Yeah, they do all the momentum. Baron buff in their hands. They are starting to push down this mid lane. And Shikiorin, he was so good on these engage and tank champions, putting out decent performances, but on the Fiddlesticks, a carry not showing the same level of standard that he was in game 1 and game 2.
Yeah, he just cannot. He did find a good place in the early game, but in this mid and late game, he cannot find himself a good engage, and we see a bit of desperation there at the Dragon, just ulting alone, and he's ulting again just for one man.
He's going for Sench. Sench has managed to find himself in a position where he could give over a shutdown. Obsidian, he was actually focusing Algren. He's going to go into the stasis. The Unleashed Power is going to finish off the Nocturne, and oh my god, this game is crazy. What is going on? Because now it's Gucci Yin that are throwing away the lead as a shutdown picked up against Sench, and Obsidian was falling down in the mid lane. Interstellar, they got themselves back into the game.
Yeah, we're having the opposite day. Whoever is winning is actually losing. So with this said, I expect Interstellar looking pretty good going into this mid to late game. They will just get aced and lose right away, right?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Honestly, this game is the most different to the first two, because you're essentially looking at, I mean, first of all, the team composition from Gucci Yin a lot more difficult to play out than the previous two before. More importantly, the team composition of Interstellar, it seems like it's built to punish the plays that are being made by Gucci Yin. We see here Aatrox being a little bit over-aggressive on the top side, and we see Obsidian trying to make the cross-map play, but you're against a Syndra and Sivir, two very safe carries, and it's really difficult to get on top of them. So, yeah, I think very different in that sense. Interstellar, they're in a really great spot. I'm taking a look at the items. 6 and 2 on the Syndra, 3 items completed, working towards that second one. Working towards that fourth one. 9 Dark Seal stacks as well. As wow, the Paranoia comes in. Beautiful Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Shikiorin's ultimate is not that good. As look at Kim Genta's W. It's going to root off the top jungle of Interstellar. And just as you said, whoever is ahead is just behind. As Gucci Yin, they find an angle. They find a catch onto 2 members. Sivir is down. That's the wave clear gone for Interstellar. It's going to be down to Zadoza to see if he can get rid of these minions. Gucci Yin, they're looking to push down. This first turret now, and the inhibitor will be the focus. Gucci Yin, are they potentially going to look for more? Scats of the Week does go wide. Sench trying to look for the chains, but instead Gucci Yin will go discipline, but Sheffer will go aggressive as he lands arrow after arrow. Could this be the series ending moment as Sheffer is gonna get the kill? Kim Jensen, will claim the kill credit as he goes onto a killing spree. Tobataco down, Shikioran just respawned. Gucci Yin will be very, very disciplined here as they back off for now, but it seems like they got so much off that play.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gucci Yang finding himself in great engage there. Again, Shikiorin cannot get himself a good ultimate. Intelligently, Gucci as well, getting the inhibitor. Could have maybe sticked around, but the better decision is absolutely to just recall, seeing that the good dragon timer is at 1 minute. Perfect time to recall for Gucci Yin here and set up for this all-important soul, because these are the areas where Fiddlesticks are thriving in these cornery walls and these cornery areas of the map. And if Interstellar will have an opportunity to come back into this game, we need to see a game-deciding ultimate by Shikiorin.
We do indeed, and that's going to be the key to this one. Shikioran has had a rough game so far, but one thing he's done really well throughout the series is take objectives away, steal these objectives where he just doesn't belong to them. But oh, look at the damage from Sheffer. That dragon is good as gone. Shikioran is stunned up by the Victor W, which means Obsidian pops the paranoia and goes in. The team fight is going to break out. Zedorzo, he's going to fight Sheffer on the back. Zedorzo shut down onto the Ash. Kim Jensen tried to kite Tobataco. This fight is looking really good for Interstellar. Another beautiful scatter from Zedorzo. This center is going absolutely crazy. It's going to flash forward. Double kill coming in for him. Interstellar, they're going to put through the base of Gucci Yin.
Can they end? Can they end is the question. Can Interstellar just start their comeback right here? We see Sheffer just overstepping on this low mobility AD carry. Zedorzo with the hero play. Zedorzo is not done yet with this season. They are walking down the base. Can they end this?
They are walking down the base indeed. King Valhead gets the knock up onto Kim Jensen. Could this be it? But Zedorzo, he misses out on Scats of the Week. He doesn't get the Unleashed power off, but he is going to go down and Interstellar. No! They falter at the end of their base and they lose 2 members as a result of it. Kim Jensen will complete the successful base defense and he's teleported. He's teleported into the bot lane. Kim Jensen will look to try and guide this bot lane wave into the enemy turret. You see here Zed, he's spawning in 2 seconds. You can imagine he's going to follow this up with a teleporter of his own. And the members of Gucci Yin, they're chasing out Algren and King Valher in the base. What is going on here, boys? Because Zench has not teleported to where Kim Jensen is. He's teleported into the top side. Shikioran is just going to fear him away. But Algren, he's taking the blast gun. He doesn't have the flash. King Valheim might have doomed his AD carry. And a shutdown coming in for Sench. Kim Jensen is going to keep pushing down the bot lane as he will be able to get this turret. The inhibitor, is he going to push for that? As I believe Shikioran is going to channel the ultimate. And this could be...
Double lift. Yeah, Shiki just going for a desperation play there. Meanwhile, they're losing the Baron on the other side of the map. And again, whoever is winning is losing, actually. And this time, Gucci are in the driver's seat.
Don't really know
You're still surprised? You're still puzzled?
Yeah, still a little bit surprised, but if I continue, Obsidian with the paranoia is going to find himself a catch up to Zedorzo, but beautifully played here from King Valher. Will find the engage, but unfortunately it's not enough. Double kill coming in for Obsidian. King Valher is going to get chased up by Sench, and you can see Gucci Yin, they might have found the play. This has been so back and forth. I don't even know who's going to win yet. Gucci Yin just won a team fight crucially late into the game with Baron buff, but I still don't know if they're going to end this one. But they will push down the mid lane. The health bars aren't fully healthy here. Obsidian will be able to catch that wave, but will be able to push it into the mid lane. They actually opt for the bot lane turret here, and Algren will be able to clear out those waves in the middle, and you can see Zench providing some more backup. Zedorzo is spawning in about 10 seconds time, which means Gucci Yin
For now, it is a
Ultimate.
5 versus 4. A beautiful Ash ultimate is going to land right onto Shikiori's head. Beautiful Zhonya's from Shikiori. Is only going to buy some time for now, but the defense is going to continue. Zetorzo, what can you do? That's a massive success of the week. He's going to continue the base defense, and the Syndra is going to go absolutely crazy. The mid laner for Interstellar, he's going to hold down the fort. Obsidian is popping the paranoia to get the Gucci Yin members down. I smashed my decks because of how incredible that stun coming out from Zetorzo was. Now my fist is in pain. We are losing all across the board because Gucci Yin, they dropped 2 members, and now it's Interstellar that's going to push through the base.
This game is incredible. Just that base defense after base defense, hero play after hero play. Before Kim Jensen and Obsidian defending the base 2v4. Now huge play after huge play from the player who maybe choked a little bit in game 2. Zetorzo is not done with SLE Season 5. He's single-handedly carrying his team into this late game, and what can Gucci do? As long as Zetorzo is alive, it feels like Interstellar have all the chances, and this will set up in a very explosive mid-game. Late game.
This will indeed. It's been so back and forth. Kim Jensen channeling that teleport into the mid lane. Crucially, Zetorzo doesn't have the flash available. Zench is actually going to get the pullback onto Tobataco. And right now, we're entering the crucial part of the game. Zetorzo is in the bot lane right now. Will channel that teleport into that mid lane. This is so important. This Syndra will one-shot anyone she hits, but the paranoia is going to get dropped. Wiggy's lands an engage onto 2. Kim Jensen is putting down so much damage. Zetorzo hasn't done anything in this team fight for now. 1 kill already going into the hands of Gucci Yin. That's not even going to find the execute onto Shefa. And I believe this is going to be the end of the game. Shikiori didn't even get the curse arm off. And Gucci Yin, they're pushing down the base. Zedge, Q2 gonna land onto Tobataco. The Renekton dashes forward. Wiggy's going to stun him up. Kim Jensen landing the final blow. And this is it. Interstellar, they have one last chance. Shepherd gonna finish off the turret. Obsidian going down in the Guardian Angel. Hang on a minute, because they are going to die here. Obsidian, it's gonna fall to King Val here. Zetorzo and the Rakan, they're gonna be the ones to complete the defense. But instead, I don't know why I was scared, because Gucci Yin, I had full confidence in you, and in the end they will complete that 3-0. They will progress, and unfortunately for Interstellar, it is a good night to the SLE for you.
Oh, what a game 3. Actually, what the 3 games? This was the closest 3-0 I've ever seen in my life. I'm bowed down to Interstellar. What a game. 07s in the chat for this team. Just tears in my eyes. They're not giving up at all. Till the last second, till the last moment in the game, they were fighting. They were giving their best to the Gucci Yin, especially Zetorzo there, fighting, giving his best out there, defending their base multiple times after time. And yeah, but it was not enough. Gucci Yin just too big, too strong, finding the great engages, shutting down the engages from Shikiori, and completely shutting down this Fiddlesticks pick. And if there was a award for the biggest heart in SLE, I would nominate Interstellar Aquila, but they will be eliminated, and Gucci Yin will move on to face. Can I say it on stream? Yeah, we'll go move on to face Rocky Raids, I believe, who upset the Rival Lynx squad, and that's going to be a hell of a semi-final.
Yeah, what a hell of a semi-final. Gucci Yin, they progress, and more importantly, they will face, like, what I would say is their initial rival, and that started out from the show matches. I believe we will head into a break, but when we come back, we will have an interview with Gucci Yin's head coach, Aze. So don't go anywhere, as we will have a chance to speak to the brains behind this roster.
Okay, Savage, we have returned to the SLE broadcast, and joining us for the post-game interview is the head coach of Gucci Yin A's. Please remind me as to why we are interviewing a coach instead of a player.
Yeah, so my team is full of, prefer not to say it as it's a slur, but they're full of people that are not very brave, so they do not want to do that to you. So here I am.
Yeah, PU55Y says if I ever need to censor that.
Oh, I think about B word, but yeah.
Okay, that works too. But nonetheless, A's, you complete the 3-0, semi-finals secured for you and your boys. What does it mean to you? Because as a coach, I think I've seen as well, like you do a lot of groundwork, you do a lot of backroom work with this team. So what does it mean for you to secure that semi-final spot?
I mean, it's great, right? Like it's always the thing of like having that safety net of having losers back is always nice. I mean, we don't really need it, right? Like the competition, it is what it is. But I mean, yeah, it's nice having the safety net, even though we're probably not gonna need it.
Yeah, fair enough. And we've seen a lot of teams getting knocked out of the playoff series. Revel Links are gone, Gucci Yang are gone. How do you fare Gucci Yin's chances at taking the SLE title?
Yeah, I mean, we're still waiting for the results of the GG versus Vitagen, which I think is probably gonna be really important because I think Vitagen is very hard to prepare and play against. Maybe not necessarily the best team, but they're like really hard to like figure out and how to go into. So depending on how that matchup works out, that's gonna be funky. And then the I think Wrecker Race is also kind of the same situation where they're hard to draft against just because of some unique champions they play. And the easiest matchup would probably be what's this last one? The BP. Yeah, the BP one is kind of free though. Like they probably have some of the better players individually, but they're kind of easy to prep, and we also just have their number.
Fair enough. And this game here, Interstellar, yes, it was a 3-0, but I think we can all admit it was not an easy 3-0. Your boys definitely had to sweat for it. Was there a particular player that you felt was so important for you guys that was able to carry this one home?
I mean, I think a player that's been massively stepped on because of the roster we have, but I don't know. Kim Jensen has been performing every single game, every single series so far, and he really deserves his respect. Like every time, he's almost always winning lane, and he's always having impact on like these either like very scaling options where he's either going even or head, or these aggressive options. We saw him a little bit more in the earliest part of the season where he's like pulling out the Akali and just 1v9ing solo killing lane a lot.
Yeah, awesome. Great shout out to Kim Jensen and a player who we've been so happy to have in the Gucci camp. Mikas, have you got any questions for A's?
Yeah, when you were drafting that in game 2, I'm just kidding. No, nothing from me this time. And yeah, Gucci Yin has been looking a bit shaky in these couple of games. Do you think you need to change something going in the next round of the playoffs?
I mean, it's been a little bit of a curse for us, like almost since day one, kind of, where we have either solid early games and then we can't close it out, or we have really bad early games and we cannot somehow get back with like miracle TPs. Like Sench has really good eye for spotting those TP flanks and like these game-changing fights. So that's something we're kind of winning a lot of games on where we maybe shouldn't win them. And then, as I said, the other issue is us not being able to close it out, as we saw in game 1, where we get the we get the Infernal Soul at 25 minutes, and I think it ends up becoming like a 35-minute slugfest, where they even I think they got Herald or Elder as well or something like that. No, that was the second game. But yeah, it was like it's really bad in our early late game because we have a hard time closing out, and I'm not really sure what the root of that problem is, but it's definitely something we have to work on.
Yeah, well, moving forward, is you are going to progress through the SLE and you're going to face up either Goblins or Vitagen. Obviously, you touched on the difficulty, and I think just based off what you said, you obviously, I'm assuming you would prefer to face against Goblins in a semi-final situation than Vitagen, but is there a particular reason as to why you feel Vitagen is so difficult to prep for?
There's kind of also two reasons I want to face. We haven't played Goblins in other than the show matches before the season even started. So Goblins is someone we haven't played in a serious manner. So we also kind of want to play them. They're one of the teams we you know, we have the rivalry kind of with the Revilo, or not Revilo, sorry, Panini, because he was a previous Gucci jungler, so we always want to face him for certain reasons. And then like back to the main part of the question of, I think it's just due to Vitagen having like really weird champ pools, right? Like we've seen in the past where they're flexing like the Gwen jungle, they're flexing the Ivern top lane. They have Jomi, who's like a really like good weak side. He's playing a lot of the Seraphine, and then some prep we had like, going into Vitagen was that Wowza was also like a bit of an ego player, right? So we didn't expect him to just drop ego and play the you know, the fucking my bad. The Asol that just you know, drop ego and just sit there and farm on the turret, go down 30 CS, but doesn't matter. You just gotta rotate, drop CS for just roast the Drake. So bit of a bad preparation on my part mostly, and I was just not expecting them to, you know, quote unquote, be this scared of us. And that kind of made us have like unplayable drafts, and then the game plan was just kind of ruined because we got tilted or something. I don't know.
Well, that's very interesting. Mikus, do you have any closing questions for our guest here?
No, not really. Go win the title. Let's go, Gucci.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
the most non-based casters. I love it.
Hey, no, I swear, I think we're the like most toxic towards Gucci when they are playing.
Oh yeah, I believe you.
Because we flamed them so much on the cast.
Yeah, I flamed them as well. Have you been in a voice call with me when I'm playing? I'm like, what are we doing? What's happening? You know, so
no,
I get that. Positive flame though. We speak more.
Flame is probably not the word. It's just analysis.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for joining us, A's. Do you have any closing statements for Interstellar, your team, or any SLE members that are watching?
I mean, yeah, great showing here from Interstellar, playing with Shiki Jungle, like autofill jungler. I mean, you know as well how hard it is to like autofill this role.
Isn't
it? Regardless, yeah, I mean, well played to the guys. Of course, we are some of the favorites, and they were kind of lower in the bracket, so understandable loss. And some of the games were like a lot closer. They had us like they got the 3 Barons something in second game, Elder in third, Elder as well, and really hard games to close out. So even though it's a 3-0, I don't feel like it was like a complete stomp like it shows on the score. So I mean, really well played to them.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, A's, for the insight, and congratulations for winning the series and reaching semifinals. But for now, the broadcast, it will end. The SLE will come to a close, or the stream. I believe if anyone wants to watch, there is a game happening right now. Just hit spectate on whoever's in the game. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me, Mikus, on this cast. Thank you very much to Pepper for producing, as always, the GOAT. Even more of a GOAT than I am.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
The goat!
Good one, boys. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a lovely evening.